We've all been there. You're standing in the beer aisle staring at the same selection that was there last week and just wishing you could try something different. That's where Tavour comes in. Tavour is the best and easiest way for you to get the beers that you can't find in your favorite bottle shop.
No need to hunt down people to trade with or worry about sending some sketchy guy a PayPal account hoping that he delivers on the bottle that you want. Tavour has your back. They only work with independent breweries, so there's no risk of getting suckered into buying an InBev beer pretending to be a craft brew.
And it's insanely easy. Just sign up for your free account, download the Tavour app for your Android or iPhone, and you'll get notifications when new beers are ready. Just go to the app and click Get It, and they'll put the quantity requested aside for you and ship it to your door. You can ship as many beers as you want for a flat fee, and you can schedule your delivery as soon as 1 week and as late as 5 after you select the beer you want to buy.
And now, fans of Craft Brewed Sports can get $10 in credit after you buy your first beer through Tavour.com. Just go to our website, craftbrewedsports.com, and click the Tavour link in the menu bar. Create your free account, and after your first beer is shipped out, you'll see a $10 credit hit your account. There's no commitment, no contract, no gimmicks, just great beer delivered directly to your door. Craft Brewed Sports is also brought to you by Audible.com. Fans of Craft Brewed Sports can get a free 30-day trial membership to Audible complete with a free audiobook download. Even if you cancel the membership within the 30 days, you still get to keep the audiobook.
To get that free audiobook and test out the Audible service, go to audibletrial.com/craftbrewedsports. That's audibletrial.com/craftbrewedsports, or just go to our website, craftbrewedsports.com, and click the Audible Trial link in the menu bar.
Drinking beer and watching sports is pretty awesome, and one of the few things on par is drinking beer and playing video games. But dropping all that cash on games that end up collecting dust after you're done with them sucks. But there's no sense in trading in old games unless you really want 25 cents off your new one. There's a better way, GameFly.
GameFly has over 8,000 new releases and classics available to rent for Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS4, PS3, PS Vita, Wii U, Wii, and 3DS, as well as older systems. As a GameFly member, you can rent as many console and handheld games as you want and get them delivered right to your mailbox for one low monthly fee.
And if you like a game so much that you don't want to send it back, you can keep it for a low use price. There are never any due dates or late fees, and GameFly also offers the ability to rent Blu-ray and DVD movies as part of the regular service at no extra charge.
And right now, GameFly is offering fans of Craft Brewed Sports a premium free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. To get that free trial started today, just go to gameflyoffer.com/craftbrewedsports. That's gameflyoffer.com/craftbrewedsports. Or just head on over to our website, craftbrewedsports.com, and click the GameFly link in the menu bar.
This is Bronson Arroyo from the Cincinnati Reds, and you're listening to Craft Brewed Sports with Scott and Mike.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Craft Brewed Sports. I am Mike. With me, as always, is my main man, Scott. This is Craft Brewed Sports. Scott, you ready to tap this keg of sports knowledge?
The last one sober.
Yep. How tough was it doing the show last week with no booze?
Not as tough as I thought, but
It's just boring.
like it's just. I mean, I had fun, but it's like you keep reaching for that, and it's just like,
Yeah.
let me get this sip of water.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer, man. Like, I've even on shows where we run out of beer early, I'm like, this is weird.
Well, yeah, no, we mentioned that last week. Like when we run out of beer, I'm kind of like lost.
Yeah.
During the show, it's just that action of cup to mouth, like throughout the show, and then you just like, oh, water. That's it, water.
Yeah, totally. I totally know what you mean. Joe, Joe's in the studio. Joe, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Hi,
Good,
Joe.
man. Great fucking start to the show, man. You killed it.
Hey, thanks.
Joe fucking, for the first time in show history, Joe got us off on time.
He always gets us off, but this time it was on time. Wait, what?
On time.
What happened?
Got all the reads play. Joe did all of the reads. That was kind of crazy. Is one of ours playing sound?
Yeah, you know.
That's my ass always. Always forgetting to turn on the iPad like a chump.
Good. Make sure you
Fucking
guys
amateur hour over here.
share the episode. Hit that share button. Send it out to your Facebook friends. If we hit 15 shares, I'm going to do a shot of Fireball because I'm the only one that can do a shot this week since Scott is sober Scott once again. And Joe has to drive. So I'll be the one that just takes the hit. You know what? I'll do.
But
I'll
next
do 2
week,
shots.
you want to make sure you're there the moment we go live, the moment that intro stops, because I'll be on one knee chugging a Smirnoff.
And
like
I'll
a
be
bitch.
chugging a Guinness. Because
Ooh, yeah,
that's
that's right.
the punishment from
Butt
Tank
chugging
next
a
week.
Guinness, even.
No butt chugs.
Oh, that's right. You got to eat that potato.
I gotta eat a potato. I have to chug a Guinness, eat a potato, no condiments, and then end the show with a double shot of Jameson.
God.
It's the Irish breakfast, courtesy of Tank. That's going to be next week. That's one you don't want to miss. Stick around for this episode because later on, I have to battle rap for a punishment. I lost to JB, so God damn it, JB called his punishment in for this week. And I got to battle rap Lou the dog. So that's going to be horribly embarrassing. And the only people who lose in that is everybody who listens to it. But be sure to stick around, right? That's a good way to sell that. We're also going to be talking tournament action, March Madness, as we're getting into the Elite Eight here. We're going to talk about the AA. What is
Thing?
the AAFL? AAL? What is their
The awful.
the Alliance
of
American Football
They actually
League?
don't. They don't have league on there.
Network? Whatever.
Yeah,
They're
just Alliance of American
so they're
Football.
AAF.
Something like that.
So we're going to talk AAF later on, and what a middle finger that is to Vince McMahon. We've got some good upper deck stories, so make sure you guys stick around, share the show. Before we get into all that, let's do kick you off with Motherfucker of the Week. You got 2 options, as always. This week, your first option for Motherfucker of the Week is none other than one of my favorite golfers ever, Rory McIlroy. Rory came out this week after winning the Arnold Palmer Invitational last week and said that golf fans are getting too rowdy, and he would like to see tournaments stop selling liquor and limit the beer that they sell.
Hey
to
guys,
patrons.
can you keep it down? I'm trying to golf here.
It is. I absolutely hate that. Like the sport that needs more people to support it to get. Like, I mean, it's a popular sport, but they need more younger fans and more people tuning in. So they're going to try to alienate people like us and be like, "You can't drink."
Yeah.
Fuck you, man.
Yeah.
And why is golf like one of the only sports that you're not allowed to yell at the player? You're not allowed to heckle.
Well, and we talked about it before the show. I mentioned as far as doing alcohol sales, I'm all for kicking out unruly people who can't control their alcohol. I mean,
Yeah.
in any setting, you should be. If you can't hold your liquor, then you got to go. But I mean, just being able to drink at a sporting event, and if he can't handle a little bit of a heckling in his backswing, like, come on, man, that's weak sauce.
Yeah, that's the crazy. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I mean, I understand you got to focus in golf, and it takes a lot of concentration. It's not an easy sport to play. But you know what else isn't easy to do? Hitting a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah.
You don't hear him being like, "Guys, quiet down." So there's somebody at the plate. Can we please keep it down?
Hitting a free throw and everybody's all in your grill.
Yeah, can you imagine if they told like college kids they weren't allowed to bring those stupid big heads into
Arizona
games
State
anymore?
wouldn't know what to do. They've got that whole big old setup there. They're elaborate, things.
Yeah.
Remember they revealed
They had
Michael
Michael
Phelps.
Phelps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've done all
There's-
sorts of crazy stuff. What are they going to do? Just not go to the games?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to be quiet.
Hey, shh.
Could you imagine the guy holding up a stick? Everybody, quiet,
please.
Shoot a free throw.
I got yelled at in an LPGA event one time. I didn't even say anything. We were marshalling my school, part of our volunteer program. We had to marshal, so I got to be one of the guys that held up the stick. And ESPN was there, so I wanted to get on TV. And there was a lady in the fairway, and I stood a little bit out of the rough so that I could try to get in the TV shot. And her caddy turned around and was like, "Can you move, please?" I'm like 50 yards away from her, behind her, and they were like, "Move! What are you doing? That's distracting." It's like, get the fuck out of here.
You mess up a lot of sporting events.
I was really excited. That was my favorite sporting event. That might have been my favorite sporting event that I've ever gone to.
Not the one where the kid.
Natalie Golbus said hi to me. That's why it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Not the one where the kid got you on the stolen base on the.
No, that was not one of my favorite sporting events. That was really brutal.
That was one of my favorite sporting events. Yeah. All right. Anyway, for your
It's an illegal move. I'm just throwing that out there. That move was made illegal
After
the
it
year
happened?
after it happened to
Then
me.
it wasn't illegal.
It was it's cheating. It's a cheating move.
Not until the law says so.
It's pretty fucking cheap move. They were like, this. If you're 10 years old and you can fake out a grown man with this move, it should be illegal.
Unless that
Put it
grown
on the
man
books.
is Mike Merlon. Then good for you. Keep it going. All right, but the second nominee for Motherfucker of the Week is all of you losers who keep putting up billboards, whether or not it's to keep LeBron, keep Coach Mack, to entice LeBron to come to your crappy city, Philadelphia, L.A. I'm looking at you. Quit with the billboards. You're not convincing anybody. If they see them, they're not thinking, "Oh, wow, they really want me in Philly." I should go to Philly.
I didn't really think about it
I had
until I
never
saw it
thought
on a
about
billboard, and then I'm like, Philly.
Chris Mack is driving home. You know what? All those idiots who were tweeting at me all week, they didn't really get to me. But you know what? That billboard. Now I understand. Now you guys really want me to stay.
I was really leaning towards the extra couple of $1 million a year, but you guys sprung for a billboard.
You ponied up that $300, and now I'm
Is that
looking
all
at
it costs
this
to get a billboard? $300?
I don't know. I don't know where I pulled that number from.
I don't know, but I hope that's all it is, because if so, there's going to be a Craft Brewed Sports billboard in Cincinnati.
I have a feeling it's not $300.
Let's find out.
They don't want any old idiot to be able to afford it.
Let's find out how much a billboard is. It can't be that expensive, right?
I don't know.
We're
I don't
gonna
know,
find
though.
out.
If we
We're
get
gonna
one
find
of the-
out.
I want one of the old school billboards where somebody's got to be
somebody's
out there
gotta-
putting our shit up. I don't want one of these fancy digital ones that just gets rotated.
Yeah, that's
up.
no fun.
I want the
No.
guy out there putting our shit up. Like
Yeah.
I want to drive by, like, oh my god, look at it's halfway
I want it to be
up.
like hanging partially, like
Yeah.
it ripped a little bit in the corner.
Yeah,
And-
after a week, it's kind of
Right.
falling
It's
down.
floppy. Yeah, the floppy billboard.
What the hell is that? Some half-ass podcast. It didn't even make it up there.
Depending on where you live, a billboard can cost from either $1,000
I was way off.
Way out.
or if
Thanks
you're
a lot,
in
Scott.
Boston, they can range from $11,000 to $23,000
$23,000 for a billboard?
for 4 weeks.
I mean, you're getting a good. You're getting a month
But
out
again,
of it, but still.
only if it's one of those ones that's not getting rotated. Them rotating ones, I'd only pay $1,000 for that.
Yeah, I mean that's not even.
Bare
It doesn't
minimum.
even take a lot. They just load up a
That's
graphic
what I'm
and
saying.
like click.
And it cycles through. So I mean, when people are driving by, they
Yeah,
don't even
they
necessarily
might not even see you.
yours. So no. But anyway, yeah, you idiots with your putting up posters and billboards and stuff and thinking that it's going to make any bit of difference. You're just pissing away money.
Clearly, like $1,000.
Yes.
Like that's crazy.
Piss
If
of
it was
money.
$300, I'd be like, oh, all right, yeah, that's kind of cool that you. But you spent
That's exactly why
$1,000 to try to
$300
get
bucks.
LeBron to come to Philly? Nah, man, you gotta
Minimum.
go.
Well, I mean, he bought 3 billboards, so that's at least $3,000.
Good
going
point, Joe.
based on minimum.
That's a good point, and that's the minimum. Like those, they
Don't
could
come in
jag
here with
up
your
the-
math and facts, man. You're making us look bad.
No, that's what he does. That's what
Bye.
Joe's here for. Those are your options for Motherfucker of the Week. Rory McIlroy for being a little bitch, or bitch fans for putting up billboards. Make sure you put your vote in right on the Craft Brewed Sports Facebook page. Get those votes in because we will reveal the answer by the end of the night because Joe is on top of his shit. Let's get into the beer that we're drinking today, that I'm drinking today. Joe has also poured one because it's an IPA, so he's willing to venture into this one. This week we are drinking 50 West's Coast to Coast IPA. You all right there, bud?
I'm drinking Mike's finest refrigerated water.
How is that water? It's pretty good, right? Nice and
Solid.
filtered.
Goes down smooth.
So 50 West Coast to Coast IPA. This one is 6.8% ABV. They advertise this one as having a floral smell and a floral taste. They use 5 different hops. in
Hand me that
this.
here and I just smell it.
All right. You know you're not going to like the smell of that. It's an IPA.
Yeah, but I sometimes like the smell of IPAs.
There's not much citrus smell to it. Like this is more of a straight on
See, it
IPA.
smells good though.
All right, well,
it doesn't.
that's good.
I mean, the smell doesn't bother me. It really, because a lot of them are floral, so they kind of smell, like flowers a little bit. It's not like it's just then you get the taste where they taste like butt crack.
Well, what 50 West has done with this one, and 50 West is a brewery here in Cincinnati, and the reason why I picked this one up is because they just started canning their beers recently. It was the end of January that they started distributing.
I had 50 West before.
I don't know, anywhere in Cincinnati?
Yeah, but if you're saying they just started canning, it would have had to have been on tap somewhere, and I'm just trying to think of where I was.
They've been to bars, like they've shipped cans to bars, they just haven't.
Right. No, I mean I
distributed.
know that I've had 50 West, and it was definitely on tap because the can, the design of it doesn't look familiar at all. But I'm can't for the life of me think of where I've actually had it. I just know that I've had it on.
Well, they're in the East Side Cincinnati Brewery.
East Side?
Yeah, okay, that just
Sorry.
happened. But they're very underrated. Like 50 West,
What black people do in the hip hop community. Carry on.
50 West is a super good brewery. I think they make some delicious stuff. Scott from Blank Slate is now working for 50 West. He's not brewing with them, but this is the brewery that he went to.
He's
after,
collaborating with them.
Yeah, after Blank Slate went down, he jumped over there. So they get talented people there. They make good beers. This is like their flagship IPA. And one of the nice things about this one is they do put some malts in there to kind of counteract that hoppiness that you normally get in an IPA. Joe, what do you think? You've had this one before. You're an IPA guy.
I am. I've had it before. I've had it at 50 West. I like it. It's nice and balanced. It doesn't hit too hard on the hops. It doesn't hit too light on the flowery or citrusy stuff. So it's nice, even keeled so far.
Let me ask you this: since you had it on tap before, I haven't. This is my first time having this one in. If I've had it, it's been ages. How does it compare out of the can as to straight from the teat?
I mean, obviously, anything straight out of the draft usually is fresher and better.
Yeah.
But it's getting pretty close. I mean, they're doing a really good job containing their flavors when they put it in a can, so it's pretty good.
So I would agree, man. It's definitely initial tastes are pretty solid.
It smells good.
You can take that can home with you, man.
Oh,
and try
cool.
it
I get a
later.
parting gift?
Yeah, just like last week, I'll be like, I'll give you one.
Goodie
You
bag.
You can have one.
Wait, so tomorrow you can drink?
Yeah, actually, I can.
So breakfast beer.
There you go. Wait, is it like?
Touche.
Do you have to go to sleep, or can it like? Is it like a Cinderella
Midnight
type thing?
Like, it's a midnight? Yeah.
I don't know, actually. I don't know when the last one's supposed to
It's
work.
12:01.
Because like technically, if we're going
We're
off of like
off.
work schedule, like it could have been done at 5 o'clock today. You could have
Yep.
been drinking.
It's
Yep.
true. I don't know when it, like, if Vex where
So
it
it's
wore
basically
out.
when the wife says
I
you're
took
good.
it-
Yeah, it's whenever you're. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
whenever your wife says you're allowed to
Look,
drink again.
we're getting one more sleep, and I feel like I'm good to go. That's how I'm
Telling
gonna
you,
go.
12:01. Go to sleep and set an alarm for like 3 a.m.
Wake up, have a beer, then go back to
yeah, right
sleep.
back to sleep. Like, it was time.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Stone cold, just smash it over and just go, let's go.
That'll go over well.
The glass breaks. That's your alarm. Cheryl just
Somebody give me a hell yeah! What are you screaming for? Kids are screaming.
You got to put your knee braces on before you do that. Jean shorts and knee braces, and then just start fucking partying at 3 a.m.
Not actually drinking the beer, just letting it spill.
Yeah, you just got to
to
pour it all over your face. That's the only way to do it. Anyways, 50 West Coast to Coast IPA. If you've had it, feel free to let us know what you guys think of this beer. So far, I'm a fan off the bat, but as always,
We'll see
we'll
how it holds up.
Let's get into Upper Deck. Good fucking work, Joe. Man, this dude is
Joe be on it.
killing it.
He be on it all day. All right. Anyway, Upper Deck brought to you by Minuteman. Minuteman is a great sponsor for us, and the talking points part that I almost read. I started to read and I was like, Minuteman, don't want to do that. So, Craft Brewed Sports and Upper Deck is brought to you by Minuteman Tickets, locally owned in Columbus, Ohio by Scott and Matt, a couple of guys who are sports fans just like you and me.
Minuteman does things the right way. No trying to order tickets from a robot or paying ridiculously high fees. If you call them, you're going to talk to a real person and avoid all of those fees that the other guys charge. And Minuteman will even sell your tickets for you.
Check them out at MinutemanTickets.com or give them a call at 614-943-3000. That's 614-943-3000 for all of your sports, concerts, or theater ticketing needs. The other bad part is I would have read right on into it, so it would have been Minuteman Talking Points. Scott? Oh. I would have just read my own name. Oh, crap.
That would have been amazing.
All right. Well, here's a new one for you. A few weeks ago, we brought a feel-good story to you about a marriage coming out of an Atlanta Hawks Tinder meetup night. This is not that. It involves the Hawks, though, as they are being sued by a former employee for accusations of discrimination against white people.
Well, I mean,
Y'all two are getting in on this, huh? Yeah.
I
Yeah,
filed
you
a
feel
class action.
Yeah, I bet you do. Margot Klein, a white woman, filed a. Her name's Margot. I mean, yeah, white woman.
Yeah, you
Duh.
don't have to clarify.
I don't need to do that one. Filed a suit against the basketball team recently, as well as an employee discrimination charge with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commissions. The former community development coordinator alleges that external affairs director David Lee, who is black, promoted a culture of discrimination against white people, specifically white women. Klein says Lee often made jokes at the expense of white people and was dismissive of white employees. The Hawks say that they are aware of the allegations and take these matters seriously, but deny wrongdoing and plan to defend themselves. So,
Why are they always keeping the white man down?
I mean, I don't know.
Okay, let me ask you this. In this scenario,
Blackie is always keeping us down.
in this scenario, current climate, would you rather be the Hawks with this lawsuit or the Mavericks and the lawsuit that they're dealing with?
the Hawks.
Yeah, I would take that.
Racial discrimination.
you know the-
There's nothing sexual there? Okay, cool. Just
know-
racial? All right,
You
we're
know
good.
the Hawks were like, wait, we're being sued by white people? Did you see what the Mavericks did? What are they doing over there?
Yeah, but I mean, this is just interesting because you always. The first thing I thought about was she's also one. I guarantee you, she's one of those people. Well, you know, it'd be racist if we had a white entertainment television network. So you know, I don't see color, but I really think that it's a problem that there's a BET and we don't have wet. I'm just saying. So that was like immediately, I was like, her name's Margot, not Becky. Okay, cool. But definitely thought, you know, this seems weird. And I'm not even saying that she's wrong. I mean,
It's very possible.
based,
I mean, we have
based
no
off of
idea.
but I just find it funny that in this predominantly black sport,
Yeah.
one of the very few, I'm sure, front offices that has black people in prominent positions is, of course, getting accused of being racially insensitive.
I mean, it's
The irony.
It's got to be hard enough. So she said, white women specifically, it's got to be hard enough, anyways, to be a woman in professional athletics. Like,
Right.
That's
The beginning
already
there is already
you're
tough.
already behind the eight ball. So I mean, I get it from that standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, are they really? Are they really?
Yeah.
Come on, Margot. How old is Margot? Do we know how old Margot is?
I didn't see any ageism. We don't want to promote ageism here, so
No, I know, but I
we're
feel
not going to
like
judge based off.
I feel like the name Margot isn't necessarily like the young name. She's like, I was trying to apply for the social media coordinator, but they didn't take me. It's like, yeah, Margot, because you can't figure out how Facebook works.
You kept saying it was lit. We had to fire you. It had to be let go. It had nothing to do with you being white or a woman. You kept using ridiculous terms in a professional setting.
That's what it was. She just kept walking around the office going, hey, everybody, keeping it 100. And then she'd walk away. And they were like, God, we got to fucking get rid of Margot.
She says one more thing that I think might be a little racist, or she's saying it because we're all black. She's gone.
Dwight Howard went for 30 and 30 the other night.
I can't believe that Margot is like really pushing this narrative in this. I'm interested. This is one of those
I'm
cases.
damn
that
curious to see how this all unfolds.
I really want to know.
I have
how
a
this
feeling that this gets settled out of court. Like, I mean, the Hawks will just pay for it to just go away.
There's
'cause
there's
it's not going to go all the way through.
They're gonna pay that and be like, yeah, this lawsuit has been settled. Have you seen the Mavericks?
Man, harassing women over there with their sexual nature. Get them. Get them, feds. We settle out of court.
Oh shit. Well, we'll see how that one holds up.
Well.
Moving on, if you guys have ever been on a plane lately, then you know that the Wi-Fi sucks absolute ass. It's one of the biggest scams out there where they ask you to pay like $15 for access during your flight, and all you can do is barely check Twitter. And that's what happened this week when a Xavier fan hopped on a Southwest flight during the Xavier round of 32 game that I don't really want to think about. Through the story, I'm going to get through it. She signed up for the Wi-Fi and found out really quickly that she couldn't stream the game like she wanted to. She was pretty upset, and she did what all of us do. She took to Twitter and complained, tweeted at Southwest Air. The Southwest Airlines Twitter account, a customer service rep tweeted back explaining that the in-flight Wi-Fi isn't meant for streaming, saying, quote, sorry to disappoint, Renee, please
Renee,
know.
hold on, back up. White or black? White or black?
As a white lady.
Okay, yeah.
that's
The one who's complaining on the flight about her Wi-Fi
yeah,
connection.
about the Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no doubt.
on Southwest.
White. Yeah.
On Southwest too. Like,
What? They're black airline? What the hell is that supposed to be?
no, I'm just
Oh,
saying,
Southwest.
like, you're Southwest is the discount airline, and you're going to complain about the Wi-Fi that you're getting.
Oh, okay.
You just waited in line. They don't even give you seat assignments
Good
on
save.
Southwest.
Sound like you were going like
yeah.
black people don't fly on Southwest. I mean, it's on Southwest. Like,
No, everybody flies Southwest because it's $32 to fly from here to Florida. And she's like, this fucking Wi-Fi. Are you kidding me? I paid $32 plus $17 for a carry-on, and I can't even stream the goddamn game. I'm tweeting at Southwest.
you got the biggest of first world problems when you're worried about streaming at 30,000 feet.
Right. So anyways, Southwest responds back. Sorry to disappoint, Renee. Please know we limit access to certain high bandwidth applications and websites. That said, you're up 34-32 at the half. And then signed it, Mike. Renee tweeted back, half jokingly, asking that Mike provide updates during the second half. And that's exactly what this dude did. It must have been a really slow day at work for this guy, because he then tweeted 10 times during the second half to update Renee on the score of the Xavier
Not many
game.
people tweeting at Southwest. They like me. She's paying attention.
She got to feel the same pain that we all did. She felt her pain 40,000 feet in the air. Cool move by Southwest. I think that's pretty awesome of this dude to tweet back at her and give her updates. But do you think it got to the point that as Florida State was coming back, she was like, Mike, stop fucking tweeting at me. I don't want to know anymore. Yeah, I would have been like, dude, that's enough.
You're
As
done,
soon
bro.
as Florida State started coming back, I'd be like, don't fucking tweet at me. It's just like when you have to get up and walk away from the TV. Like, I can't watch this anymore. I'd be like, I don't want to hear any more updates.
All right, that's enough about that for now. All right, there's times when you have to sit back and realize that you might have a problem. This unknown gambler should probably do that. During the round of 32 matchup between UC and Nevada, while UC was up 22 to points, some bettor put down an alive game bet app that betting $2,000 that the Bearcats would win it. Obviously, they didn't. We all know that by now. The guy lost his $2,000. But the worst part is that even if UC had held on to win, the guy would have won a whopping $26.65. That's right. Bet $2,000 to win $26.25. You've got to be.
That is rough.
I mean, I feel like, you know those billboards that I see where the guy's holding his head and says gambling addiction, call this line?
Yeah.
That guy needs to look at that billboard
Yeah.
and dial it now.
That's one billboard that they should take out for him.
I almost feel
just
like they
in
should
that
just-
guy's yard. Somebody should put that billboard up.
I feel like a bet like that, like if you bet that and you see and they show you the payouts and they should just you lose.
Yeah, immediately.
$2,000, you just pissed it away. I don't
It's like-
care if you win this bet. We're not giving you your money back. You're not getting the 26. You lost because you were stupid enough to take that bet. And the house always wins, man. What the fuck are you doing?
Dude, that's
House
so
even
brutal.
house would have won if you won $26.
Yeah.
The house would have been laughing.
Right, because it would have been like,
26
this
bucks.
idiot. $2,000. Like, I mean, that's horrible, man. Like, seriously, that dude needs to look himself in the mirror and just be like, what am I doing with my life? I just lost $2,000
Just gambled
trying
2
to
months
get
of mortgage
26.
to get bus fare.
Best case scenario, I was going to get dinner at Olive Garden for this 2K bet.
Without tip.
Well, he's going to put down another $2,000
Yeah.
bet.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I got a bet real quick. Win this, you're getting big money.
I'm doubling down on this one, baby.
I just bet $2,000 for your tip. She's like, oh shit, I won. Oh, I'm getting the greatest tip ever. $30. What? You cheap bastard! You only gave me $30. No, I gave you 100% of the earnings.
That's the whole
that was
thing.
it.
I even came out of pocket for an extra $3.45.
You win tonight. This is your lucky night as a waitress. And I'm out.
So stupid. I mean, what's the worst bet you've ever made? Have you ever made like a horrible bet?
No, I am not a gambler. So, I mean, I've never bet more than like $20. Or you know, to bong a beer when the Warriors win, like Joe's gonna have to do. Other than that,
I think
kicking your ass up and down the court on bets.
welcome to the club. Everybody
I
fucking
know.
beats me.
I'm president of it. So.
I don't think I've ever made stupid bets. I always feel like I'm gonna put something down. Like every time I've been in Vegas, I'm like, oh, I'm betting. I feel good about this one, but then I chicken out and I don't bet it, and then it works out how it should.
Now that I
I'm
think
like,
about
of
it,
course.
of
course.
the only time I've been to Vegas, the last bet I made while I was in Vegas, I didn't make any sports bets the entire time I was there, except for the day we were leaving, and this is just before the Warriors became the Warriors, so they weren't, crazy, and that was at the end of, but the Spurs were still the Spurs, and it was like game 3 of the playoff game, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I've had a crappy trip. I'm down $200 for the entire trip. Not crazy. But I hadn't gambled that much, so down $200 was like a lot. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna put.
That's day one.
I had $60 worth of cash on me, and I'm like, I'm gonna put it on the Spurs. Hey, this is no brainer, no doubt. Spurs were up the entire game, lost by 14. I was like, fuck Vegas. I'm out. It's like the sure thing. This is why I don't gamble on sports. And this is why I don't gamble. What should have been a sure thing, just a $60 bet, and I'm like, last thing, hey, one more time, you're a loser before you leave here. Don't you forget.
That's like when I tried
Spurs won the series. That was the one game they lost.
Oh my God, what a kick to the dick that is. That's like I tried to teach my wife how to play roulette. And I was like, just bet red or black. Like, that's the easy way to do it. It's
Right.
simple. You get to just hang out and, whatever.
Yeah.
You don't lose a lot. You don't
You're
win a
gambling.
lot.
It's just 50-50.
Yeah.
But
She was like, I don't really know. I don't feel comfortable. I was like, look, it's really easy. All you got to do, wait until one comes up a whole lot of times and then bet the other way. So we were walking through this casino and I saw a table where black had come up like 6 times in a row. And I was like, watch
been
this.
there.
Put down
Lost
$50 on red and it came up black and I was like, oh, okay, let's just keep walking. She goes, did you just lose $50? I was like, no. Yeah, I did. Don't worry, I'm gonna get it back though because it came up 7 times. It's not gonna come up 8. So let's do another 50 on red and we're gonna get right back to even. Lost again. I was like, let's just go drink somewhere. You want to go drink?
Yeah.
She was so pissed,
That-
man. She
but
was
that-
furious.
But that's me. That's what gambling. I did the same thing. I was sitting there watching the table, and it's like, I'm in right now. Put down $50. Bam, lost it. And I'm like, I literally just lost $50 on a 50-50 proposition.
And you know the worst
I'm
part
the worst
about that is,
gambler
like,
ever.
You sit there and you're like, I can't believe I just lost $50. And they're like, pussy, that was $50. What the like? That's nothing.
Right? Yeah. Everybody else around you is like,
I watched a dude put $100 on a single number in roulette, and I was like,
And
that's
not
ballsy.
blank.
Yeah, didn't even phase him. He was just like, yep, that's my bet. $100 on this one. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna also bet on this too because you have to in that case. We didn't win.
yeah.
And the guy just went,
Yeah, I just all right.
Vegas, Vegas, heading to the titty bar.
Meanwhile, I'm over crying in the corner. So it's $100 in 2 minutes.
I lost $25. It's the most expensive Coors Light I've ever been given.
Yeah,
You ever done that rationalization?
Yes, I did that too. It's like, I just spent $50 on this beer. I need 2 more rum and cokes, and they're not going to be here for 2 hours. But I cannot leave until I get those rum and cokes because then at least each one was $25. It's not so bad then. It's not so
It's the worst
bad.
when you sit down and you order the drink, and then you're like, all right, I'm going to play a little bit, and you just have to sit
You
there.
lose all that money
and
before
you
the
have to,
drink
before she gets
shows
back,
up.
you have to pretend
Oh.
like you're playing until she gets back.
Yes.
Like, all right, thank you for this awful beer. I'll see you later.
And then walk off.
Yep.
I did that so many times in Vegas. I'm like, this is why I'm not coming
Good old
back
Vegas.
to this city.
Vegas is one of the prizes in the Minuteman Madness tournament. You get an all expenses paid trip to Vegas. So good
Just
luck
don't
on that
take
one, everybody.
Just don't take us with you.
I can give you tips. I got all the schemes. Best bet? Bet 2K to win 26. That's the best bet you got. Moving on here, we all remember when Kevin Hart was trying to get on stage at the Super Bowl and he got pushed back by a normal-sized human being and then had his drunken video that we played as a drop on the show, which was amazing. Apparently, he wasn't the only one. Now, this is a story that just broke today. It's starting to make its rounds, so I know we've been scooped, but we had to talk about it. Michael Bennett, formerly of the Seahawks and now with the Eagles, is facing some pretty serious charges stemming from an incident after the Super Bowl in Houston. So the one from February of 2017, not this past Super Bowl before that. Bennett was at the game to support his brother, Martellus, and after the game, he tried to get on the field. Security stopped him, told him he had to go use a different entrance to the field, but Bennett apparently didn't want to go go the other route and push through security guards and onto the field. Part of that security crew, a 66-year-old disabled woman, and she was injured in the incident. So a warrant has been issued for Bennett's arrest. Prosecutors are set out to prove that Bennett, quote, knowingly caused bodily injury to a person over 65, which would fulfill the criteria for his charge of injury to the elderly. If convicted, he could face 10 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. There's definitely some fuckery going around with this, right? Like, this is the weirdest thing.
The highest order of fuckery.
You are,
because I guarantee
a year after.
The charger's knowingly injured. Like, that means that he saw this person and just barreled through him without recourse and just kept on moving on with his life. And then a year and some change later, you put these charges out there.
Yeah, that's the craziest part about this.
And the police held a press conference, and they're like, "This, he's at large, and this is
he's at large."
Making this a big old thing." And it was like, "Are you serious right now with these?" I got an ESPN alert on my phone. I mean,
the suspect is considered big and dangerous if you're an old person,
right? I mean, like making it. It's like, it is tough enough being black in America, and then you got these bullshit trumped up charges.
I mean, in fairness, if I was going to push through security, I would definitely aim for the 66-year-old disabled woman. That would be the one I'm going after to get through. If I'm really trying to get on the field,
my guess is that he never even saw this woman. And what, like you asked me before the show, what 66-year-old disabled person is on a security detail for anything?
Margo.
Of anything.
Margo.
Yeah, Margo.
Is that her name? Is that her name? Is that who it is? She's like, I'm going to sue. If you don't put me on this security detail, I'm suing.
This is so bogus.
It's so weird. I don't even understand how.
And he has to turn himself in.
I mean, they have an indictment on him. So that means it went to grand jury.
Turn himself in. Because
I understand our Justice Department works kind of slow, but a year to get an indictment on
this?
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it seems, I don't know, it just...
But what this tells me is there's got to be a video of it. Like, it's
the
the
have
Super
to have
Bowl.
evidence.
There's going to be a video of it that comes out. So I'm really interested to see that video.
Oh, and I'm really interested to see how they went about getting the conviction, too. Because, I mean, you have to prove
the
intent.
indictment, not conviction.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So the indictment is just a grand jury saying, yeah, you've got enough that you could take it to trial.
Okay.
It's not necessarily saying, yeah, he did this. It's just saying, oh, yeah. Basically, they probably were just like, wait, this big dude pushed down an old lady to get on the field?
Again, my guess is
that
you
can probably charge him.
Pushed his way through, has no idea that this happened. It wasn't as if he saw her and was like, you. And just, rushed
again,
her.
I probably would. But here's the other thing. He wouldn't have to knock her over. Bennett's a big dude. All he had to do was you do to this lady what you do to little kids who are standing in your way, and you just pick you up and fucking move. And now I'm just gonna go past you.
I'm guessing
that's all you got to do.
Walked through.
How disabled is she? Could he have just put the lock on her wheelchair and just walked past?
That would be funny, actually. You ain't stopping me. Click,
click,
and I'm out. Wrong day to be on security detail because I'm smart enough to click.
She's radioing it in. I'm stuck. They got me stuck. Margo's down. Margo's down.
Probably going to hell for making fun of disabled people and wheelchair people. What? True. I don't know.
Moving on.
There it is. All right. Both Mike and I make no secret that we're fans of Ice Cube's Big 3 League. I can't even get through this. All right. It's soon going to be back. Second season this summer. All the games are going to be live instead on tape recording. Yes, finally. I think that's probably, no matter what, if they had changed absolutely nothing about the Big 3, just making the games live and make it infinitely better.
As long as the gameplay is better, because that was the one good thing about the Big 3 was you missed the scoring droughts that they had when it was on tape delay, because it was I'd follow on Twitter and be like, this game's still 12-12? What the fuck is happening right now? It's been going on for 35 minutes.
True, there might have been some droughts, but there's runs. Basketball's a game of runs, and I mean, if you're fucking Xavier, you don't score for an entire 12 minutes of the first half. Anyway, so live games and stuff. Where was I? but bigger news coming out of the league, though, is that the league can now boast that they have done something that no men's basketball league has ever done, and that's hired a woman to be the head coach of one of the teams. They recently appointed Commissioner Clyde Drexler after he was coach of one of the teams in the league. The team just named Power. He no longer coaches Power. He's now the commissioner of the league, but he tabbed Nancy Lieberman to coach the team that he vacated, and she's now the first woman's head coach of any men's professional basketball league. Lieberman
Good for her.
Yeah, she's no stranger to this. She was an assistant coach on the Kings. She did head coach in the WNBA from 98 to 2000. So this isn't her first rodeo. This isn't some pity gig. This isn't just, oh, hey, you used to be a kind of good player back in the day. Let's go on ahead and make you head coach to make headlines. No, this is like a legit thing. But
Yeah.
The league was great last year and did good things in their inaugural year, and this is even more awesome.
I think that's the coolest part. Like a lot of times you see the first year in a league like this, it just fizzles, and
Yeah.
the Big Three never really. I mean, it wasn't huge by any stretch of the imagination.
Pop crazily. It wasn't like
But it also
mainstream.
just stayed steady through the first year. And I
Yes.
think the first year, that's all you got to do. And then you make your adjustments, figure out what
Right.
the fans want to
Then
see.
steady growth from there.
This year is where we'll find out if this league is really going to stick around. Because
Right.
if they don't make changes and improve, then they're going to
But
drop
I
hard.
do think that they're going to. One, I think they'll tighten up the things. The first move was the live thing. Obviously,
Yeah.
that was probably everybody's biggest gripe. Was man, these games being on tape delay, it's kind of lame because I can find out the results the day before it's played or whatever.
Yeah.
But then you add in the fact that first season they got kind of the B-list stars and like their stars in that league, but their names that were like third and fourth.
And the
fiddles
stars that were
on-
in there didn't really want to play.
Right.
AI.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest names that they did get, it was kind of like this farcical thing where
Yeah.
they played but didn't play. But now, all of a sudden, I mean, they've already advertised they're getting, Amari Stoudemire, like bigger names, even
Yeah.
bigger names than before, are signing on, and they're going to play and be part of these teams. So, like, that's part of the growth
Right.
of this thing is you're getting even more bigger names to come on. And Ice Cube came out and said, hey, fully support this head coaching decision, and she is very qualified. I expect her to do big things in the league, and let's go. So good for them.
Hopefully,
for
this opens the
doing
door
so.
for female coaches in other sports
Well,
and
that was
in other.
that was my
because-
first thought. Was now what's your excuse if you're any other league where why can't they? I mean,
Yeah.
some people are going to make the argument, oh well, it's this gimmick league but I mean, it's still a head coaching.
I mean, look, if
gig. They still are coached by this woman, regardless.
if I had the choice between Sean Miller or Pat Summit coaching, Pat Summit, in the day, not Pat Summit now, obviously, since she passed away. But if I had the choice between Sean Miller or Pat Summit,
Good call.
I would pick Pat Summit.
Good
every
call.
time.
You wouldn't have the dead Pat Summit coaching you. Yeah,
I might pick the dead Pat Summit over Sean Miller.
touche.
I might make that choice. Dead Pat Summit over Sean
upper
Miller.
Deck, Minutemen is going to cancel our shit. Making fun of dead women.
Well, I'm not making fun.
just
That's making fun of Sean Miller.
Yeah,
We did go a little hard on women earlier. Go ahead, Joe. I know we were ready for it.
Huh?
Oh, I thought you were ready for a moving on there. Okay. Anyways, let's get into
Anyway,
this last story.
good for Nancy Lieberman.
Let's stop talking about women. Let's make fun of kids for a little bit. There's
All right,
been
on board.
a huge push from tons of talking heads to stop showing crying kids during tournament coverage.
Nah.
Lots of blue check Twitter users throwing it out there that they need to stop showing kids after a loss when they've got their hearts ripped out by their favorite teams. People like Danny Cannell, Nicole Auerbach, more people voiced their concerns about this practice. And it's created this like groundswell of support from people.
Not from me.
Who are saying, stop showing these kids crying. Not everyone likes this idea. CBS, the other CBS, the fake one, they are sticking to their guns and said that kids crying is fair game to show because, quote, it's part of the drama.
I don't even care that they think it's part of the drama. I like seeing it, not because I'm like, I enjoy the taste of your tears, which partially I do, but I also enjoy, I'm like, man, these motherfuckers care.
Yeah,
If you care enough to cry, then that means, you know what? You care as much as I did. Seeing JP McCure in tears, I'm like, That dude cares.
No. They're not talking about showing the college, like the players crying.
Oh, you're talking about like
They're talking
little
about
kids, like
panning,
little league.
panning to the crowd and showing like the
Oh,
kid
the
in the
actual
stands
kids.
crying. The one that
Oh
we
no,
used,
fuck those kids! Show them shits.
the one we used in our GIF
Yeah,
last
yeah,
week.
yeah.
For,
No,
for
fuck
Motherfucker
that.
of the Week.
I'm all
That's-
here for the
they're-
kids
They're
crying.
saying stop
I
showing
thought
the
you
kids.
meant kids was like, oh, these
I don't-
college
I took
players.
it. I took it as like
you just meant kids. Oh, fuck them
like
kids.
they always tend to find the one kid in the front row.
Your
who's
face
just,
is
like,
public.
heartbroken.
Your face is public use, and
Hey man, look!
you show
if
up to a sporting
if
event.
you don't want to be on TV crying,
Better
go
get your-
sit in the fucking cheap seats, man. Like, leave the front row for the people who aren't afraid to cry.
better
on
put a
camera.
bag over your head. You're gonna get caught on camera crying, bitch. Or don't cry. Fuck it. Fuck them. Show the kids. Then I'm just laughing.
I like how you were
the players.
you
I-
were
I know,
on board. You
No,
were
yeah,
on
yeah.
board with this, and then when you found out it was little kids, you were really on board. You were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, wait, that's what we're talking." No, fuck those kids.
Man up, son. Or don't.
In fairness, you are the one who yelled at your son on his first birthday for crying while he was eating his cake.
No, crying because he didn't eat the cake.
That's right. He was like,
Yeah, he's all terrified
upset,
because all
yeah.
people were.
and you were like, "Stop crying! You're embarrassing yourself."
It's true.
Your 1-year-old son.
I got video of that. Fuck the kids. I'm the future.
This has been Upper Deck, brought to you by Minuteman Tickets, probably for the last time, and by Crying Kids.
Fuck them.
The kids?
Yes.
Okay, good.
No,
yeah.
no, not
Yeah.
Minuteman. No,
Thank
Minuteman's
you.
awesome. Do not fuck Minuteman. Go get your tickets at Minuteman. But the kids, fuck them. Let them cry.
Oh, Jesus. Did you cry?
Was that Hootie? Let them cry.
Yeah, it was Hootie.
Yeah.
That was Hootie.
I subscribe to that shit.
Joe, why don't you bring up the computer volume? We'll open up the drunk line, 440-37-DRUNK. Call in, talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can hit us up with some tournament action. I know Tyson's been itching to hear about the meltdown of Xavier and that loss. It is just another chapter in cursed Cincinnati sports history. That article went up on the blog earlier this week. I don't know what it is about this town that just you can't win. Like the teams are cursed. Somebody, I don't know who mentioned it on Facebook, but somebody brought up it's the curse of Bo Jackson. This all goes back to when the Bengals broke Bo Jackson's career when they messed up his hip, and that all Cincinnati sports teams have been cursed since.
You don't fuck with Bo.
You don't. Bo knows curses.
Clearly. He just has a voodoo doll of the city of Cincinnati, just pokes at it.
So
Day in, day out.
So Sunday was the day where we got to see UC blow a 22-point lead to Nevada with 10 minutes to go in the game. That's unheard of, to lose a lead with basically a quarter to go. You blow a 22-point lead. And then follow that up a few hours later with Xavier blowing a 12-point lead to Florida State in a game where J.P. McCura fouled out. Trayvon Blewett didn't exist. He might as well not have been on the floor. I mean, what the fuck, man? What the fuck?
What the fuck is all you can say about that game? I am very upset still.
I haven't been able to watch basketball since, especially last night when I checked the scores and I saw that Florida State was beating up on Gonzaga. I was like, I'm never watching this tournament. Like, I'm done watching this tournament this year because that is...
Oh, I'm always done when Xavier loses. For me, it's always over, but I don't care what's going on, what happens. I don't care who wins. I don't care about my bracket. None of it. It was all over in that moment. The shittiest thing is the way I felt before the game was already the nervous energy, and then I'm all...
I felt so fucking confident.
No, see, and then I'm all, UC lost, and I'm like, man, it'd be just like us to totally do the same thing, or like we're gonna lose because like I just had that feeling. But then the game's playing out, and they went through that drought in that first half where they just didn't score for the last 10 minutes, and somehow escaped with a 2-point lead at halftime. And I thought, oh my
Well,
god,
it was because of
they
the
played
calls.
their worst basketball the entire year, and they still are up 2 at the
That's
half.
how I felt.
And I felt. At that point, I thought, okay, so they're going to win this. It's going to be ugly, and it's going to be another Xavier way
A
of
Xavier
doing this,
win.
where
Yep.
it's like, wow, that was ugly, but hey, got out with the W and
Dubs
whatever.
are
Survived
dubs.
advance. Like, no, and everybody's still talking ish about us getting knocked off. And, even Chuck at halftime was, yeah, Florida State's going to win because they're more athletic, and I just think they're going to figure out a way. And I'm like, nah, Xavier's going to win this ugly, but it's whatever. And then we're up 12, and I was like, yeah, cruising. I mean, we were making jokes in the group. Like, everything was going good.
You hit the Stugatz weekend update
I was
early.
But I was doing
But I felt good too.
No, but part of me was doing that because I was being silly about the whole doesn't matter what I say thing.
Yeah.
We talked about it in the group, and nothing we do here matters. So I was just being playful, but I also felt like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it's early, but it's still we're good to go. I mean, we've played horrible, and they're still up big. And then Xavier just went to sleep, and then the season ended the same way that the Providence game did with Kareem Cantor throwing a ball up.
How the fuck is that your last shot?
It was the last game against Providence in the Big East tournament that he never got the shot off.
Yeah.
Before the buzzer, and then that was the last shot of the season.
Didn't he hit that?
No.
Even it was after the buzzer, but I thought he hit it.
I don't
like
think
he
so.
I thought it was one of those where it ended, the buzzer went off,
I
and he
don't
just
know.
threw
I
it
don't
up
know.
and it
I
went in,
remember
and I was
being
like, dude, at that point,
so
don't throw it up.
disgusted. It was just whatever. But yeah, so another season, and we talked about it a million times. No Final Four season was a waste.
Yep.
Season was disappointing.
Agree 100%.
And it was even worse than I imagined.
Yeah, it
Didn't
was
even
way
blow
worse.
it in the Elite Eight. Craft Root Sports. Who's this?
Michael,
Hey, Papa B, what's up?
you two whiners. You're whining about Cincinnati being cursed.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really
Yeah.
particularly care
You
about
guys
Cincinnati.
can't.
being cursed,
You
but
guys
they are.
can't hold a candle to Cuckland.
No,
Not
no,
even
no.
close.
I will
close.
I will argue this point with you, Papa B, because I did some research this week. I think yes, history is on Cuckland's side. They are historically a worse team a worse city. Over the last 20 years, they have more success than
maybe
Cincinnati.
longer.
No, over the last 20 years, they have more success than Cincinnati. The Indians have gone to the World Series.
No,
Cincinnati has not. There has been no Cincinnati
won a
professional
World
team
Series.
in 1990. That was their last World Series win, was 1990. In the last 20 years, Cincinnati sports has done nothing.
When was Cleveland?
I'm telling you, what I'm
Cleveland?
saying, Pops, is historically, yes, Cuckland is the worst city. But in the last 20 years, they have more success. You at least won a goddamn playoff game.
Out here battling to see who's the worst.
No Cincinnati professional team has won a playoff game in the last 20 years.
That's
But that's okay. At least.
Well,
you
I guess
got
not
there.
playoff game. The Reds
Series.
The Reds didn't win a series,
Yeah.
right? And they got fucking no hit against the Phillies. And they blew a 2-0 series against the Giants.
I mean, the Bengals have actually been to the playoffs.
And they've lost in the
When-
first round every fucking time. They're cursed.
At least they got there. They didn't go 0-16. I mean, what the hell? Jesus
I will give
Christ,
you the
quit your
Browns.
fucking whining.
I'll give you the Browns. I will give you the Browns. There's nothing that can compare to the awfulness of the Browns. But if you compare the Indians and the Reds over the last 20 years, the Indians are the better team. Do you
By
deny
far,
that?
the last 20 years.
And, Dad, the Cavs won the fucking championship. We don't. The next closest third sport that we have is FC Cincinnati. You know what FC Cincinnati has done in the 2 years that they've been in existence?
not make the MLS.
Lost in the playoffs the first game, both years that they've been in existence.
Would that be the soccer team?
Yeah, that's the soccer team.
Yeah, oh fuck soccer.
There it is. I knew it was coming. I knew the Papa B fuck soccer was
That's
coming.
that's not a sport. That's like saying you didn't win the cornhole championship.
He's making valid points.
Or you pat yourself on the back because you're getting inducted into the WWF Hall of Fame. I mean, what the fuck?
Did you just make a Kid
Why
Rock reference?
Don't they know that professional wrestling's fake? They have a Hall of Fame.
I have a feeling Tank's going to be calling in to discuss that now. He's going to be upset by that one, Pops.
Well, I mean, hey, come on. It's not real. It's fake. I mean, come on. They have a Hall of Fame. Why do we have a cornhole Hall of Fame? I mean, what the fuck? At least it's a little sport.
You know, I watch that on ESPN. They actually have cornhole coverage on
I know.
ESPN now. That's fucking crazy.
Oh.
It's not even the Ocho.
Cincinnati's
It was
gonna
like
get a team so they can finish last.
Pops, I'm telling you,
It'll be
look
a
at the numbers. Over the last 20 years, Cleveland has had more success than Cincinnati.
Well, yeah, but not in football. And,
Well,
and that's
yeah,
the only thing that really counts. I mean, let's face it.
He's making all the valid points.
I mean, yeah, you're right. So if that's it, then you're right. Then everybody's better than Cuckland. You're absolutely right. Then if football is all we're looking at, Cuckland
That's all
sucks.
that matters, and Cuckland sucks. Hell, I mean, look at fucking John Carroll can't even beat Mount Union. That's how bad they are.
But
The
Mount
city
Union's
sucks.
really good. Mount Union's
What?
Mount Union's really good though.
Yeah, but eventually you think you'd win one game in 57 years.
Well, if Cleveland has taught me anything, Cleveland football has taught me anything, maybe not. Maybe that's not true. You know what? I would bet $2,000
to it.
to win 26 that Cleveland doesn't win a game.
Those would be your odds, too.
You should be used to that losing. You come from Youngstown. Come on, you've been you were a
You're
Cleveland
right.
fan all your life.
I know. I'm starting to feel like I'm the cursed fan. Like it just follows me. There's just a black cloud
Yeah.
hanging over my head.
What'd you call me?
I don't know. It could be the guy sitting next to you yells at his 1-year-old kid.
We gotta go. You're going through a tunnel.
Wait, Pops, legit question for you here. Who's your vote for motherfucker of the week? Are you voting for Rory McIlroy for saying that they need to limit beer and alcohol sales at golf tournaments, or are you voting for
Idiots who
the
put up
fans,
billboards.
Yeah, fans who put up billboards to try to keep people or lure people to their team?
Well, anybody who's stupid enough to spend their money on a billboard's got my vote. They're idiots. Like, you really think that billboard's going to make up LeBron's mind?
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
It totally is. I mean,
Let me tell you, unless some owner opens up his wallet and just dumps money on him like it's raining, he's staying in Cleveland.
Okay.
Oh, Papa B's on the Cleveland train, huh?
That's a bold prediction,
Interesting.
Pops.
What's that?
That's a bold prediction. So you think he's staying? You don't think he's going to go anywhere else?
No, he's not going to go anywhere.
All right. What makes you think that?
He likes to have his ego stroked a little bit. And like I said, unless there's some humongous contract with part ownership in the team and something that's unheard of, he'll stay right where he's at. I mean,
Don't you
he's
think
head
he's
coach now,
gonna?
too.
Don't you think he's gonna get his ego stroked wherever he goes, though? Like I feel like no matter where he ends up, that's what they're gonna do for him. They're just gonna give him the old ego hand jibber, and
Yeah. No, he's an Akron boy. He's going to stay right where he's at.
all right.
It's not about money anymore. He owns the franchise in Cleveland now.
he really does. Like at this point, he makes all the calls. So maybe that's it. But to your point, if somebody says we'll give you a stake, a share in this organization, it's kind of hard to say no to that.
Yeah, like I
Headed
said,
to
unless it's something out of this world, he's staying.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see if you're right, Pops. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's going to get a soccer
I don't know.
franchise.
Did you? Did you see the Philly billboards though?
He's going to call them the Black Ballers. That's what he's going to call them.
I don't even know what that means. Pops, that got really weird.
That was for Scott.
Oh, all right. Now it makes sense. All right. Thanks, Papa B.
Racist.
Shit. All right, I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys.
All right,
later.
Pops,
Have a
love
good,
you.
All right.
Easter
See you,
if I don't
Papa
see ya.
B.
We'll see you.
Thank you. Wow. That was classic.
He wasn't as angry this time around.
He wasn't. Plus, he was extra confident LeBron stand.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, you're the Cleveland fan. Do you think LeBron sticks around?
Yeah, he's going to stick around. Obviously, I am 100% full, wholehearted into it, and my heart's not going to get broken.
Again.
Okay. Well, if LeBron leaves, we need to get video of Joe crying and then put that up
Hell yeah.
because it's for the drama. So we're totally going to do that. We're going to have Joe crying.
Fuck the drama. It's for the show. That shit'll just be entertainment. You can make a gif of that.
I was just quoting.
I know you
CBS.
were
God damn it.
just trying to extrapolate how much I didn't care.
So Charlotte won by 61 points over Memphis the other night.
I just don't know if LeBron is even going to. I don't know what he's going to do. Like the Cavs, I feel like are at a point where they got to do something to try to keep him. They got to show him something because
done everything,
he's not.
though?
But it's not good enough to beat the Warriors. No matter what they've done, they
you
haven't
mean
come close.
team-wise? I thought
Yeah,
you meant,
I mean, LeBron has an opportunity to start fresh and team up with somebody and actually challenge the Warriors at this point. I feel like that might be more important to him than money or whatever else. Like
if he was with Houston right now, we wouldn't be making that bet. Joe and I would have no bet.
Yeah.
If that's what happens next year, then no bet.
Yeah, because
But this year,
yeah.
He gonna be butt chugging. For sure.
For sure. But
Warriors in 6.
Joe, you still feeling confident in that bet?
100% confident. Never going to get my heart broken again.
Anyway.
All right. Anyway, so March Madness. So now that we have a ridiculously weird first half of the Elite Eight locked in with you got Michigan, who's a 3 seed, and I think they're the
highest
best
seed left
ranked
on the
seed
left side of the bracket.
Yeah, Loyola is in it. They're 11.
They're playing against
your Cinderella story.
Who the hell won last night over?
Florida State.
Yeah, it was
Are
Florida
they?
State.
Well, are they matched up
No,
against
Kansas State?
Kansas
No,
State.
they
Yeah, I was gonna
they
say
play
Kansas
Kansas
State's
State.
is
Yeah,
gonna
they're in the
play
upper
Loyola.
bracket.
Yeah,
That game was a little interesting. Kentucky losing that one to Kansas State.
wouldn't know. I wouldn't. I have no idea. I just
From
saw
what
this,
I read.
saw the score this morning. I was like, oh, they lost. Okay. CBS is pissed because they were sitting there all weekend.
Okay, so
all we
that's-
need is Duke and UK. All we need is Duke and UK. Please let it be Duke and
Yeah.
UK. And now they just throw their hands up because all they got on hope is Duke.
And
that's
I
all
still think
they're
Duke-
rooting for.
Well, also, Kansas and Villanova both won tonight. They were both 1 seed, so they both won tonight.
All right, that
Right, but I'm saying
But,
as far as like
yeah,
finals
national-
draw,
yeah,
I mean,
national
like,
audience
you're-
wise.
they're hanging there. And when you're talking about matchups, it's like, I mean, best they can hope for now is Duke, Michigan, right? I mean, that's.
which is a national draw. Like that'll be a.
I mean that would be the only one left that's bringing in the eyeballs that they can.
And that's
possibly
what
hope
this
for.
always comes up with. Like every year, whenever there's these crazy runs by these
Right.
these high
it's
seeds,
great for the first
people are like,
weekend.
"This is awesome! Everything's fucking
And then nobody
crazy."
watches.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, Loyola Chicago's still in. We got to hear about this nun again. I don't want to watch this shit."
It's only cool the first weekend, and then after that, I'm like, oh, that was cute. I don't want to hear about these guys anymore. Is Xavier an 11 seed making a run? Then fuck them.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're Xavier fans, so it's totally different. But
No, I know.
I think even if Xavier had made a run this year as a 1 seed, if they were still in it, people would be like, "Fucking Xavier, who are they?" Like I know Xavier is
Well, I don't
more
think it would
they're
be
more
the
well
who
known
are
than
they.
Loyola,
It's
but
just,
it's still
it's just the one.
I
It's
don't
just
know.
the number next to your name. That's all it is. 'Cause,
No,
I
but
mean,
I still don't think. I think people want the name. The name is more important than the number because
for
had
sure,
UK
the name-
had UK made it, they're a 5 seed. Like
Right.
people wanted UK to make it because
for
it's a
sure,
name.
For sure, the name matters when you're talking about the network. But I'm saying when it comes to the eyeballs for the fans, I mean, a lot of them are just gonna tune in.
No, I
for
think
the
it's
number.
the name because you're trying to get the casual fan and you're trying to get the fan that recognizes something. So Xavier, it could be Xavier versus Villanova, part 3 in the national championship game.
Oh, yeah.
number
Nobody's
1 seed versus
watching
number
that
1,
game outside
and
of
nobody,
Big East
nobody
fans
gives a shit
and
because they're
us.
like, who is this? Nah, I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't care about
Oh, no,
this.
they would do
but you
piss
get
poor numbers.
you get Duke versus Kentucky, 1 versus
Right.
5, and it's killing the ratings because everybody knows Kentucky, everybody knows Duke.
Right.
So
it would be a nightmare.
that's-
would have been, but it's not. We
don't have to worry about it. So fuck it. So, do you think this tournament, as crazy as it is, and how wild this whole tournament has been, everybody seems to be into it because of all these upsets. Do you think that's what we're gonna fall victim to again? Is just people tuning out in the Final Four because you got like
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just before I got out of the car coming into your house, Feinbaum was asked the question like, "Is this tournament really good for the sport?" I mean, you
No,
spend
I
an
don't think
entire,
it is.
You spend an entire season, and then all of this just kind of happens at random, and you have one bad game, and that determines it, and that's that for all these teams, and then you're left with all these teams that nobody really cares about, who potentially can all win the national championship. But then you're looking at it. I mean, seriously, think about it. If it were to happen, if Loyola Chicago won a national championship, yeah, it would be the good story. But would anybody feel like they were actually the
no,
best?
they feel cheated.
Yeah,
they feel cheated.
It would feel cheap.
You know what it would do? It would be every single person.
It would legitimize the BCS.
Every single person would be like, "We need to expand the fucking playoffs. See, UCF, they should have been playing. That's a guarantee. That's the first story that runs if Loyola Chicago wins the national championship. Even if they make it to the national championship, that's the story that runs.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
So a lot of people are saying that, well, they're happy for this because it's getting rid of the big programs that are so-called cheaters.
They say that, but then they don't watch.
Cheaters, yeah. But
that's the problem. People say that and they don't watch. I mean, you don't want to know how I know? I'm one of them. Because I'm all jacked up to see the things, but then the games happen, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not watching that shit because I don't care.
Yeah, it's not.
Like, I only care when it's exciting and when there's 68 teams.
Not only that, the basketball in general has been pretty sloppy. Like, overall.
But it's been bad. I was going to say, across the board.
Yeah.
Like, all of these games you're watching, like, it's been some bad basketball, horrible officiating. I mean,
yeah,
it's
like
been
the
ugly.
whole tournament in general just feels shitty. Like, it just feels like, and maybe that's because there's more parity and teams are more even and seeds don't matter as much. But it just feels like this tournament sucks. And that's not me as a Xavier fan being shitty about, like, all the other games. Every other game I've watched, it's just like, it's what right now? It's 14-12, and there's 3 minutes to go in the half.
Yeah, there's been this really bad quality of basketball where it's like, it's like it's not very far removed from just like a high school game if you're watching it. You're like, the quality is low.
Right. It's been really shitty, and I don't know why that is. Like,
I'm telling you, it's kind of just what I mentioned. I think we talked about this last week, was that there's a very big lack of star power right now, too.
There really is, yeah.
The one name this year, Trae Young, they got eliminated right off the bat. And then, I mean, as far as household names go, there just aren't any.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to gravitate towards.
So are we just in a weird dead spot in college sports right now?
I think that this year is maybe a once-off because you get more. But, I mean, we said that, though, with the way things had gone this entire year. Everything's wide open, and it's going to be weird because of how many changes there were in the top 25 week after week after week, and there's no real dominant team. It's just kind of a bunch of decent, really good teams at the top. Nobody dominant, and that kind of makes it all suck. I mean, there's nobody to even really hate all that much. Like, how much do you really hate Duke this year?
A lot, because fuck Grayson Allen.
No, I mean,
a lot. I hate him a lot.
I know.
Second name in NCAA that you knew.
Yeah, and the only reason why I know him is because he's a douchebag that trips people.
Right, I
So
know.
fuck
But
him.
even his name was kind of on the back burner this year compared to last year. His name was much more prominent. Like,
That's because he wasn't tripping people as much as here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't hate Duke as much as I usually do. Like, the fire. I mean, I hate him, and this is whatever. I don't want to see him win, but I mean, the fire wasn't there. I don't know. Like, they didn't have any. There wasn't somebody there. There wasn't really a villain this year. But there aren't any heroes either. It's just like kind of this whole cast of just guys across the country.
Yeah, it's just like here's teams that are playing.
Yeah.
Enjoy,
and then there's and then there's
I feel like that should be March Madness' slogan.
And then there's the cloud. Then there is the cloud of the whole FBI thing that's kind of just there, but it's not really. Nothing's really happening. But there's been all these questions about all these top programs, but no answers, and everybody's just kind of like waiting for the other shoe to fall.
Right.
But who knows if it might take 2 more years before everything gets sorted out. So this whole year might be for naught.
Maybe they should
whoever wins might have to take the banner down.
They should redo one shining moment for this year and just add a question mark. So it's just like one shining moment. There was stuff that happened.
Yeah.
Don't shake your head at me, Joe. I saw that in the peripheral. I saw him shake his head at the bad joke. Fuck you.
Terrible, terrible joke.
Let me ask this question. So because this tournament has been so crazy, we have seen a wide gamut of results. We saw UC blow a 22-point lead. We saw Xavier choke away a 12-point close lead. We watched UNC, a number 2 seed, get fucking blown out in the second round of the tournament in a game that they should have won handily. Which one would you prefer? Do you want...
How do you skip the 16 over the 1 on the upset scale?
Because that wasn't okay. I'm right, fine. There was a 16 over 1, and that was a big win too for UMBC. They won by what, 20 points?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good. Okay, fair point.
It happened during the show. It seems like an eternity ago.
It really does.
Seriously.
Like it does.
It
feel
happened a
like,
week ago, and I'm like, God, that was only a week ago.
I thought it was last season for a second. That's how far. That's
Remember
how far
last year
back.
when a 16 beat a 1? was last week. Oh shit!
Oh man,
It's been that much bad basketball in a week.
and then they lost. So good job, way to go, 16 seed.
Right.
Thanks for nothing.
But their social media guy got real popular for 10
He
minutes.
did, which
he
was-
had his 15 minutes. For
He
show.
killed it. That
He
kid
did.
killed it. He was auditioning for an NHL team with that one.
Was he really?
No, I mean, I'm just saying because that's NHL teams have the best social media.
Oh, I got you. But I wasn't sure because I heard he got job offers from different
He had
people.
to
Like but I didn't know.
He had
I wasn't
to.
sure if there was something that I missed
No,
where
no.
the NHL teams were like, oh hey.
Anyways, so would you rather? And that's let me back this up because you didn't let me finish my question. My question on this is: how would you rather lose? Would you rather get blown out by a seed that you should dominate? Would you rather lose in a close game like Xavier did, where you had a lead but it wasn't a crazy lead, and then you kind of choke it away at the end? Or would you rather be like UC, where you have a huge lead and you blow that huge lead? Which is the better way to lose? That is such a goddamn Cleveland thing to ask. Like, which way would you prefer to
The
lose?
fumble, the drive. Which named blunder hurts less? I don't know.
But I just feel like this tournament is so weird and so crazy that we've seen all of these different things.
I
So
don't know.
which one as a fan are you just like, all right, I can at least swallow that pill?
The buzzer beater. I mean, that's the worst. That's the least.
It hurts bad though when it happens.
It does, but I mean, at least you can be like, oh, well, we lost off that last second shot. The embarrassment of being up and then just completely choking it away or getting trounced against a team that you're supposed to beat, like that was my biggest concern in this tournament. I said it. Oh, this is going to be the year 16-1, and it's probably going to be Xavier, and it's going to be this big fucking embarrassment. Like that would have been awful. Like as much as it sucks that Xavier lost to Florida State, you can kind of rationally make your way around it and talk yourself into the loss. If they're all athletic and big and stuff and reasons. With Virginia losing to UMCB or
UMBC.
BC, whatever, like there's not like how do you justify that? And as a fan, like how do you can't like talk it away. It's just like no, you got it handed to you against a school that most people had never even heard of.
But see, I feel like that's an easier pill to swallow because you can just chalk it up to be like, this season's fucking weird. I mean, shit's crazy.
But it's historical.
I
You're always
understand
gonna
it's
be the
historical.
first.
I understand that, and that's going to suck. But it's
You're
also
the answer to a trivia question forever. Ain't nobody gonna
Yeah.
remember that Xavier lost to Florida State in a few years. Like it'll just be like, oh yeah, I remember when we lost. Like whatever. But it wasn't to a 16.
But I still feel like that loss would be easier to take in a tournament where you potentially have an 11 seed in the Final Four to be like, yeah, we lost to a 16, but this season was fucking weird.
Well, same thing with Xavier though. It'll be like, oh, whatever. Look at the year. Look at that. That's how I'll justify it later on. I'll be like, oh yeah, remember that year? Well, you fucking had Loyola Chicago won it all. Cool. Nothing mattered.
As the fan that knows losing very well, the easiest one to swallow is when you're out of it from the get-go. If you're
I think
supposed to win,
I'm making the alternate argument that I've made in the past that the last second wins choke war. Because I think I made the point on this show that during that Super Bowl when the Niners were getting their asses kicked, I had slowly started to accept it, and you're like, well, fuck it, it was a great season, and we'll be back here next year. And then they got closer and closer and closer, and then lost it off the fingertips, and that sucked on
Yeah.
dick.
The Notre Dame-Alabama National Championship game, when it was over by the end of the first quarter, I was like, well, fuck it, let's get drunk. Who gives a shit?
You're right.
Like, at this point, it's
Yeah,
over.
yeah, yeah.
Fuck it, it's done.
And like I said, I'm like, as we started talking it through, and Joe said that, I'm like, I
Yeah.
actually think I made that
you
point
go through the stages of
on a
grief
previous episode.
during the game. Like, you're still mad about the Xavier loss. When you're blown
true.
out, you're through the stages of grief by the time
by
the
the
game's
time
over.
the game's over.
especially when there's food involved. If you can just eat it away during the game, boom, you're done. Eat and drink it away by the time the game's over. You're not even watching the game in the second half anyway, so just fuck it.
That's very good points. Yeah, you're right. All right, so that's why I'm still chewing on this Xavier loss and still bitter.
Yeah, so it's the game that you should win, and it's close, and it shouldn't really be close, and then you end up losing. That's the one that's the fucking worst one to deal with, because then you're going through in your mind like, that ball had just gone that one way, or if they didn't call that charge on JP, he wouldn't have gotten taken out of the game, and we probably have a different outcome. You're just playing the what if game for fucking ever. But when you're down, when you get blown out by 20, it's like, yeah, that was weird.
We had no
I
chance.
I got shit faced on a Sunday night. It was a good time. I think. I don't know. That's a way better way to go down, right?
Yeah. Fucking 1 seed, man.
You want to talk football instead?
Jesus Christ, what? What about football? Free agency?
No, real football.
Oh.
The Alliance of American Football.
The one that undercut the XFL and just stole everything
For those of you that don't know, this
with
week,
no weird press conference.
Vince McMahon told us a lot in that press conference. Wasn't that on Periscope too? Like he did that on Periscope.
Yeah,
it wasn't
all
even
kinds of weird.
We don't have any information.
We don't
on
have
that.
anything except for this logo and this cool rap song.
And people
This
gonna,
is the XFL.
we were supposed to have people write a theme song for the show using
yeah,
that
we
rap.
were. That was homework. I think we were even supposed to come back with our best brand.
This is beer. This is sports. That was going to be everybody's submission for that. But yeah, so it was Dick Ebersol's son, right? Or is
Yeah,
Dick
the one
Ebersol-
that made the XFL.
It's that one?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's the director of This is the XFL 30 for 30.
Wow.
So he interviews and gets all this stuff and basically figures out exactly what went wrong and why it went wrong. I mean, he obviously had time, or he could have done this just from his father, because Dick Ebersol was the one who teamed up with Vince to do the XFL. So he could have just gone straight to the stores and be like, hey, Dad, you were in this. What exactly did it go wrong? But instead, he goes to his dad and probably did that, and then also goes to McMahon, picks his brain, who he probably at some point found out, yeah, hey, so we're trying to fire this thing back up again. Like, keep that on the DL or whatever. But he's like, and he's just sitting there like, oh, really? Because, yeah, cool. Then watches the whole thing that Vince did, which everybody was like, what the fuck is this shit? I mean, you announced it, but you're not really coming back, and it's 2 years away, and you got nothing? Oh, okay, cool. Well, I guess talk to us in 2 years?
Well, that's
sees
what
all
killed
that
it.
go down, and then it's like, oh, hey, guys, by the way, we got a league, and we got TV deal, and we got all this
teams
stuff.
are-
And
here's
eight
the cities
cities,
yeah.
and we're rolling.
Which everything that people were disappointed with the XFL announcement, they were like, "Is this going to be on TV?" Well, we don't.
So
we
not
don't
only
know.
did he
We're gonna-
take, not only did he take notes from McMahon's first debacle, he sat there and took notes from his then second go round debacle. It's like, okay, what did people want from Vince in the first announcement? All right, we're gonna hit every single bullet point when we finally roll this thing out, and they did. It was like it came so out of the clear blue sky that I was like, wait a minute, what? There's another league, and they've got details, and it's starting next year? What? It completely blindsided me, and they had everything laid out that I was like, is this real? I mean, the announcement seriously just popped up, and I thought,
I had no
this is
idea it was
fake.
coming.
There was no rumors. It was just mid-morning. Hey, guess what? There's another football league that's undercutting the XFL and has no affiliation with the NFL.
And they're going to do it a year before the XFL plans to launch.
And completely screw everything up that they had. Blew my mind. But, I mean, here we are. And the same questions, I guess, we had about the XFL, though, still are there. You're like, I mean, I heard he did go on national radio and talk about the league. This is the younger Ebersol. Say, you got to go for 2-point conversions. So there's rule
there's no
changes.
kickers, no punters.
They don't. There's no kickoffs. I mean, there's all sorts of interesting rule changes. And then you've got the thing that with the players, it's kind of like the Big Three, where the Big Three have the coaches, players type deal, and they have a stake. Well, they've got former NFL players that are heading this whole thing, and they want the players that are involved on the teams to be part of the league, not just in the league. And it's not really a league. I mean, it's going to be real interesting to see how it all works. And the one thing was that he mentioned there's an NFL out clause. So it's like if they're playing good enough that the NFL signed them, like they want that to happen because it's like, hey, what better way to get free pub than, yeah, this guy was playing in our league, balling out, and boom, he got to the NFL. Come play in our league.
Yeah.
He's like, we want that to happen. Like, we're not trying to prohibit them to going to the NFL. That we hope that happens. We want to just be a league where you can watch football that has different rules, and that's basically feeding the NFL. But like, we're gonna make our names off the backs of those guys. He's like, my dream scenario is Kurt Warner, some guy who comes in off the street, blows the fuck up, and then goes to the NFL and also does big things. And then that's our promotional tool.
Yeah.
Like, look what guys from our league did. I'm like, they've thought this through and got. I mean, okay,
it
sounds great.
They thought it through, but it's all fucking common sense. Like, this is all shit
No,
that
I know.
McMahon should have said
I know, but
in
that's
his
the,
press
well,
conference.
that's the funny thing though is that when he was talking through all this, and I'm like, these are all just like kind of common sense things, but none of them ever occurred to me, and clearly they never occurred to Vince because he's never said any of the things that were laid out.
We don't have any information.
Right,
on
like
that right now.
that's a very good question, and we'll answer it for you in 2 years, maybe. And so I was just like, it was refreshing, but again, also just shocking.
I don't know about
because
Pittsburgh. We don't have any information on cities.
they basically didn't let anything out of the they let nothing out of the bag. There wasn't rumors that this league,
That's
we
the
heard the
craziest part.
XFL patent, so we knew
Right.
something was coming,
Right.
or potentially something was coming. There was no rumors. There was no inkling. Like, hey, there might be this other league that's popping up, and stay tuned because there could be this other league. It just poof. Thin
Yeah, it
air,
was just-
boom, league
yeah.
set up, ready to go, and we're rolling in a year. And it's like, all right, okay.
Right.
I don't know if it's going to work any better than the XFL did, but it seems like this is what the XFL coming back
I think the
wanted
fact
to
that
be.
they have some former NFL talent, like brought,
Backing it?
yeah, like
Yeah.
they've got some people that you can point to and be like, look, you can be involved in this league with these dudes. Isn't Hines Ward one of the guys that's
Hines Ward, Palomalu, Justin Tuck.
JT?
And there was one more prominent name. And then you've got Bill Polian, the
Yep.
former Colts exec and whatnot. He's got his name
So
on
they've
it.
got legit people back in the league,
Right.
where the XFL is still
And they've
like
got the TV deal, and I can't remember who the TV deal was.
I think it's with CBS.
CBS?
I think
Okay,
so.
I don't know. For some reason I had Fox. But either way, they've got a legit network, which is why everybody's like, the XFL thing, no matter what they do, it's not going to get off the ground if they don't have TV.
because they were going to go streaming. That was their
Right,
whole
yeah,
thing, was they were
and-
going to go streaming, and it was like,
That's
cool,
not
because
gonna
that's what
work
everybody's
long
going to.
term.
But
Yeah.
if you have it on network TV where nobody has to pay for a cable
Right.
package to watch
Then
it,
you're getting
people are going to
eyeballs.
fucking watch
Right.
it. Especially something like CBS where they have the NFL. Like, people are
Already
they're trained to
programmed
watch,
to watch
CBS on
for
Sundays.
football, yeah.
So now the NFL season ends, and look, there's more football on Sunday, and it's on the same channel that I've been watching for the
I
last.
don't have to do anything.
16
I have
weeks.
to
Great.
Seek out some special streaming app because that
Right.
would alienate so many old people.
Yeah, exactly.
Which isn't the demo they're necessarily going for, but either way, you're just alienating
And
a segment
CBS,
that
that's
all
the
of a
old people network. Fucking
Right,
Genius
yeah.
move by Ebersol.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It sounds good.
So my question
I like the
is-
ideas, but I
I think it sounds good too. So my question is, do you think that we start to see a shift? Because this is a professional league. These guys are going to get paid, maybe not a ton, but they're going to get paid. So do you think, like we talked about this with the XFL, and is there the possibility that you get these kids out of high school that maybe go play in the XFL for a while instead of playing in college? But then we were like, nah, because it's still streaming and it's this weird gimmicky thing where this feels like football on national TV, so you can't even be like, well, you get better exposure on football or college football than you do playing this other league. Do you think there's going to be some high school kids who maybe would have gone to Ohio State, whatever, and instead are going to go to this league and play?
Yes, but not the highest of the high level. I think you'll get some. You will get some trickle off, or you get some guys that maybe might think. You get some higher end talent, but it won't be the 5-star recruits. I think you might steal a couple 4 guys here and there, like otherwise wouldn't necessarily have gone to college. But I don't think you're going to get the highest here. Those guys will still be like, all right, I can go to college and do my 3 years or whatever. But I do think they're going to siphon off some of those guys.
But you're doing 3 years. Like, that's the thing. You're
Right.
doing 3 years of having to go to class, or maybe potentially going 1 year.
I mean, there will. I mean, if this league succeeds long term, there will be a Jackie Robinson moment. I feel like where there will be one guy where it's like, oh, this guy's the number 1 prospect in the country, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to play for this league, and then that will be the moment when this league takes off to another level. But I don't think it's going to happen within the first few years. Like, the league has to establish itself. Like, people are going to vet it out and see how it is, see what kind of money they can make, if it's worth the risk, and kind of weigh the pros and cons. It's kind of like what's going on now, where you see some of these bigger name guys sitting out these bowl games when they're not in the playoffs or whatever, in a position where it's like, that never happened before, but you see a couple of guys do it, and it's like, you know what, that seems like a pretty good idea. And you're going to have a couple more, and eventually it's going to get to the point where all these guys who are any type of aspirations in the NFL, oh, this bowl game doesn't mean anything, I'm not playing. Like, I mean, it'll be across the board where guys will just be like, I'm not playing.
So the TV deal is the debut game, so the first game they're ever doing, and the championship game will be on regular CBS. One game a week will be on the CBS Sports Network.
So it is a cable. It is a cable option. It's not. They're not all on CBS, that does hurt their viewership a little bit.
Wait. So one game is on?
So the debut game and the championship game is going to be on regular
regular
CBS.
TV. And then after that, all
one
the games,
game a week during the regular season is going to be on CBS Sports Network.
So then the rest of them aren't going to be televised at all?
They're going to have an app where you can stream the games.
Okay.
If you
But
care
there's
enough.
there's still so that's the app is going to be for the people who are like, my team isn't on this week.
Network.
I
So
need football.
I want to watch it on CBS Sports Network.
Right.
Everybody else is going to be like, football. I don't give a fuck who's playing. It's football. So I'm just going to watch this team. Craft Brewed Sports. Who's this?
Hey, it's Tank. What's up?
Hey, Tank. What's up, brother?
Hey, man.
Hey, not much, guys. What's going on? Coming at you from Hartford, Connecticut tonight.
Whoa! Long distance calling.
Man, what do you?
Yeah.
What the hell takes you to Hartford?
The wife's grandmother's funeral tomorrow, so
Thanks, Scott.
we're doing that whole thing. So
Walked right into that one.
Yeah, not a fun trip, but a trip nonetheless. So we're out here on the East Coast.
Are you gonna? I mean, I know it's not a good time to be out there, but are you gonna hit any breweries while you're there? I mean,
you best believe. I mean, it is
All right,
me.
good.
I mean, we're-
That's my man, Tank.
I mean, we went to dog. I went to the beer store today. If you, I already posted. I already posted my first mini haul up in the group. So
Nice.
I mean, things are going on.
Circle of life, bro, but still got to get beer.
No, that's exactly the time to do it.
I know.
I'm mourning. I need to get drunk. Absolutely.
Mike, that's very Irish of you.
That's why he's eating a
you've
potato
seen
raw
it.
next week.
Tank, I'm so not looking forward to that.
I can't
man.
wait for this.
That might be the one
Hey, man,
I'm looking forward to
So
the
I
least.
just tuned into. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. I cannot wait to watch you eat that fucking potato. It's great.
What do you got for us, Tank?
Hey, man,
Besides
I
potato
just tuned
talk.
in. You guys are talking about football here. Yeah, man, it's a crazy time right now. I totally think that there's going to be some dudes that go to this league that just don't want to fuck with the NCAA. I mean, if you're some kid that, like, you don't, like, you've done high school, you didn't like doing high school, you didn't like going to class and dealing with it then, why are you going to go to the NCAA when you can go someplace else, get paid, not have to do it under the table, you can be out front about it, and then work your way to the NFL. I think it's a way better system for a lot of guys. I agree with Scott. I don't think that, like, the top tier guys, the guys that are, have that platform at Alabama and Ohio State, where they're like, yeah, this is going to get you in the league and it's a proven model. But, those kids that, like, might get picked up, by, like, a Michigan State or a Washington or a Florida or a Florida State, those guys might, decide to give this a shot and, not have to deal with that whole going to class bullshit.
See, that's the first name I thought of with this idea of kids skipping college and going to this league. First name I thought of was a conversation you and I had, Tank, about Jameis Winston when there was the special on was it HBO that did the special on Florida State football?
Yeah, dude, when they did Hard Knocks this year, I mean, that dude, he
it wasn't
comes from,
Florida State, it
like,
was the Tampa Bay.
super poor Alabama, like, grew up in, like, a house with, like, 20 kids. I mean, that dude did not go to Florida State because, he was an academic, All-American. That dude went there because he could throw a football 75 yards.
Right. So if you get the guys who are coming from a place that I'm dirt poor, like I'm going to the league and I'm going to take care of my family, those are the guys that are going to be like, no, I'm going to get some fucking money right now. Like, I'm just going to go to this league and I'll play here for a couple of years and then I'll go make the big bucks in the NFL.
Yeah, and these guys are smart too. They get it. I mean, if you're somebody with the caliber of Jameis Winston, where it's like, okay, so you guys are going to sell my jersey and I'm going to make what off of it? Absolutely nothing. And who's making money off this? Not me. Fuck you. Like, why would you sign up for that when you're at that level?
I think you're right, Tank. I agree with you on that. And I mean, to Scott's point, there's still probably the top tier guys who still go to the college teams because it's what you're supposed to do. But I think we're going to see there's one of two ways I see this going. Either one, you're going to see a bunch of guys siphon off and go to this league and become, this becomes a feeder league, or the NCAA changes their shit. And that's the only other option that I see happening, is where the NCAA is finally like, you know what? Okay, fine. These guys can get paid. And then they'll stick with the same model and they'll go to where they get the more exposure. And I can make cash while I'm at school. Cool. I'll deal with going to class a little bit because people are going to do my homework for me anyways. As long as I can get paid while I'm there, I'll fucking deal with it for 3 years.
Yeah, it's a changing world. Hey, Scott, do bowl games matter anymore?
Hell no. They sure as fuck don't, as long as they're not in the playoffs.
Scott's never thought bowl games matter.
Oh, hell no.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, at one point, that was something that people actually gave a shit about. And at this point, nobody does. It's like, again, like the fucking Beef O'Brady's Bowl. Nobody gives a shit if you win the Beef O'Brady's Bowl. Like, it doesn't matter.
I want that trophy. I want that trophy hanging up in my school's locker room. The Beef O'Brady trophy.
The Dollar Tree Bowl.
I was chicken noodle soup MVP in that game. It was pretty sweet.
Oh shit! Hey Tank, I got to tell you, man, this shirt is comfortable as fuck, man.
Hey, thank you very much for rocking that. I really appreciate that, man. And more on the way. We're going to be getting some glassware out there soon. So,
That's gonna be
people out there, if you're into things like tikis and some other cool stuff, I'm going to be putting some really badass heavy metal looking graphics on limited edition glassware soon. So, I'll be talking to you all about that.
Hell yeah, man! Where can people get the shirts?
Right now, if you want to get the shirts, get at me. You can hit me up on Instagram at Neil2No1, and you can also get at me on Facebook at Anthony Tankman. So just send me a DM, and I'll take care of you, and I'll walk you through the whole process. We'll get it mailed out to you, so not a problem. Well, now I'm done plugging my shit. I got to circle back to the XFL. Here's the deal. Vince McMahon doesn't know shit about anything outside of the WWE, and anything he touches dies.
Well, there's your hot take on anything that's going on with XFL.
Except for John Cena.
Except for Cena.
And Cena's
still trying to eject and trying to go the same way The Rock did to get away from Vince's wrath.
Oh.
Tank, that's my favorite line I think I've ever heard on this
Doesn't
show.
know shit
He
about
doesn't know
fuck about anything. I'm going to use that one.
Go ahead. Use it.
Tank, who's your vote for motherfucker of the week this week? Did you hear the options?
Yeah, man, it's a really hard choice. So we got PGA golfers bitching about people getting too drunk at PGA. Fuck you. Are you serious?
That's pretty bad. That's really bad. And
have you been to any other sport? Do you realize how insane people get at like hockey games or football games, or even like day drunk at baseball, and you're bitching about somebody heckling you on the fairway? Get out of here.
I love Tank coming in hot.
I once yelled at Manny Ramirez that he's got nice titties, and so golfers can suck my ass. This bullshit.
I mean, you know when there's like two hillbillies jumped out of the stands and beat up like that first base coach of it in like Kansas City back in the 90s?
Oh,
and just
yes.
bitching about,
Yes.
And you're yeah, and fucking Rory McIlroy bitching about somebody yelling fuck or whatever at him on the fairway. Get out of here with that bullshit.
I think it's clear who Tank voted for in motherfucker of the week. Rory McIlroy's bitch ass.
He don't know shit about damn about fuck.
Shit about fuck about anything.
Absolutely not. Zero. I mean, at least the people that are putting on money for billboards, at least you're stimulating the local economy. I'll give you that.
I hadn't even thought about it that way. They're putting Lamar in business. They're keeping. Isn't that who does all the billboards? Lamar.
Yeah.
They're just feeding the beast.
Who is Lamar?
Just some dude. He's like, yeah, I own that billboard. That'll be $300. Tank, it was good talking to you, man.
Hey, man, good talking to you guys. I'm going to hang up and listen to the rest of the show. Wait, have I missed the battle rap yet?
No. That's actually about to happen.
Oh, it is about to happen?
Meow.
Oh, shit. All right. I'm going to put on the Beats, the official headphones of Anthony Tank Mansfield, and listen to this shit. All right, let's get it.
Cheers,
see you, buddy.
We'll see, man. Is it seriously about to happen right now?
Yeah, Rate's ready to go.
Fuck.
Hey, Lou the dog, call in. It's time to battle rap. Brah.
This punishment was, yeah, Joe? What do you got?
Just as a warning, producer Joe over here, I do not condone this. This is going to be absolutely terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is going to be really bad. Craft Brewed Sports. Is this Lou the dog? Yeah, there it is. That's Lou the dog. So Lou, can we talk for a minute before we get into this battle rap?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right.
Let's go.
Why the fuck did you agree to this? Let's start there. Why did you agree to doing this?
Because I felt bad for JB.
Wow. Still getting some shit talking in between him as beef and JB.
It's hilarious. It's the ultimate. Let's just think about this for a second. JB got his ass beat so bad in the first battle rap that he chose it for the punishment for you.
Oh
no, you're 100% right. Like he was like, this was so embarrassing for me. I'm gonna subject Mike to that same embarrassment.
No, it'll be fun. I thought we were gonna catch you more off guard. I'm a little nervous since you've had 2 weeks to prepare.
I mean, if it makes you feel better.
He Googled what is 16 bars. You're going to be fine.
Not what is 16 bars. I Googled how long is 16 bars.
Jesus Christ.
Because I didn't know. I was like, how long is 16 bars? I've heard that saying. I didn't know how long that was. It was like 16 bars sounds like a lot. And then they were like, it's 30 seconds.
I guess now's not a good time to say I have no fucking idea what you guys are talking about.
Oh, shit.
This is going to be
DJ, spin that shit.
Who's going first? Wait, hang on.
Lou the dog's
Lou
going
goes first.
Yeah.
Lou the dog will go first. Whatever.
Jesus Christ. Are we doing this shit a cappella? We got no music.
We got no beats?
I can do however you want. If you want to drop a beat, I'm ready.
I mean, apparently there's no beats.
You want me to just let it rip?
There's no beats.
If you want me to just let it rip.
Anything from X's and O's we can use?
It sounds a lot.
What
Why
about
don't you
that
just
beat?
play?
What
Just
about
play
that
the upper
beat
deck
from
beat.
before?
Play the upper deck beat. We'll just play the upper deck.
upper deck beat's fine.
I put that shit together.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Let it go.
This is so fucking
Let it go.
embarrassing.
This is going to be so white.
Where's Blake? All right, this is for everybody just tuning in. This is a punishment that I have to go through because I lost to goddamn it JB in the football picks, and his decision to punish me was to make me battle rap Lou the dog. So fucking, this is
Without
it.
further ado,
This bullshit.
Yeah, turn up the beat. Turn up the beat. All right. Everybody who's for LTD, put your motherfucking hands up and follow me.
I mean, I'm for LTD.
Now everybody who's for LTD, put your motherfucking hands up. What? That's right, I'm back for round 2 on Craft Brewed. Last time JB got his ass beat, so as punishment he put Mikey B in the hot seat. Look at him sitting there stiff as a log because he's scared to death of Lou the dog. This lanky ginger, he's got a big boner for the Golden Domers, but Notre Dame is lame and it sucks ever since Mike came. On this earth at birth, born cheering for those overrated Catholics on the turf. Now he sits here each week with his cold takes, more fit for a baby with a smash cake. Meanwhile, I fill in and chew you up and spit you out like something from the Easy Bake. My takes are scorching hot, like from a volcanic oven. I'm taking your remains and shoving them under the rug with a picture of your shocked mug, face drooping like a pug. You're getting beat with the club. A stinger iron down the fairway from Tiger Woods, who is back. If you think he's not, you're a quack. He'll win again, and saying ain't so is a sin. He's the best of all time to make the climb. Sure, he fell down, but he's back and loves to hear you whine. Oh man, Mike, look at you squirm like a swine. I can't wait to hear what you got to say next. What, Lou, poo, but, boo, shoo. Stop right there. You're out of luck, you cuck. Keep with the craft rude. It's a lot of fun, but research your takes, do your job, and never forget, I am the top dog.
Oh, shit. I'm not going to lie. Lou the dog came out fucking hot.
Choke.
Fire.
Choke. I'm about to choke.
Dude, that was good.
He called me a cuck.
He called you a cuck.
Compete with that.
He said you look like a pug. Fuck, man. Damn. We got to play that back because, I mean, I miss even so many burns. Shit.
Boom, roasted.
Should have brought the fucking ointment. All right, well, what's your white ass got?
Yeah, okay. It's
you're fucked, you cuck.
What?
Jesus, man.
Let me start this off with something from me. Right from the jump, fuck JB. You beat me in the picks. Cool, that's great. And now my punishment is the battle rate? Fine with me, I can handle this shit. I'm about to make him and you throw a fit. Lou the dog, you mangy little pooch. Nuts cut off, now it's like you got a cooch.
Damn.
I might be pasty white, and you think you can beat me, but listen up, pup. You're barking up the wrong tree. I may not know the shit about what underscore asks, but I've seen 8 Mile, so I'm up to the task. You furry little fuck, your takes are whack. Tweeting nonstop that Tiger is back. Not gonna lie, shit got old quick. You were just running around asking Tiger for the peanut butter trick. Put your muzzle on before you embarrass yourself, and we're forced to stuff you and keep you on the shelf. Tweet at me again and I'll block it. You aren't a big dog. You've just got a little red bottle rocket. God damn it, that was a good line. I fucked it up. So strap in, homie. Next season I'm coming for you. I'll beat your picks and show you. Whatever. Lou, rate Lou. It doesn't matter either way. I'm coming for you. One more thing before I let this be. Most important of all, fuck JB.
Damn!
Wah.
Wow. That wasn't bad.
I mean, it wasn't terrible.
It was better than any. That was
terrible.
That was the least white thing you've done on this show. Shit.
I'm really mad that I messed up the red bottle rocket line.
That's
that was going to be a
right.
good line,
You
too. I was
stumbled a little
all
bit.
pumped for that one. I thought of that one. I was like, ho! Red bottle rocket. It's a little dick. Is this Ray calling back?
He hung up.
Yeah, probably. That's Ray's MO. Craft Root Sports. Is this Lou again?
Did you miss the whole thing?
No, I listened on the computer.
Oh, okay. All right.
How did
Nice job, Mike.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I don't know why we had to battle rap. Like, I feel like the punishment should have been like JB battle rapping me and like putting me in my place. But instead, he's like, "Nah, Lou the dog, go fight this for me because I can't handle my shit."
Handle his light work,
pretty
bro.
much. Yeah, JB knew he shouldn't march himself back out there for any battle rapping. He should have just punched you with a hockey stick or something.
So I think the result of this battle rap is that JB got shit on the most. It was his punishment.
It worked out pretty good.
I almost messaged Lou the dog and was like, "Dude, let's fuck this whole shit up and just both of us just shit on JB the whole time." But I didn't. I was like, "No, I'll take my punishment like a man.
No,
I won't rig it."
I was impressed by both sides. I mean, I feel like it's a classic draw.
He got me. He got me big time.
He's got more experience though. I mean,
It's
for
true.
coming out fucking rookie, you to Roy. I mean, you got that going,
Yeah.
Roy.
Lou, were you surprised by my rhyme scheme there? I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about.
It was better than I anticipated. You were ready to go. I like the content. I think you got to work on the delivery a little bit and get some, get some more.
It's a confidence
enthusiasm
thing.
into
It's
it,
a confidence
little bit more
thing.
rhythm.
Yeah.
It sounded like a losers. It was just like the same rhythm all the way through.
Dude, the whole time I was doing that, I was like, this is fucking loser. Like, the whole time I was coming up with lines, I was like, everything comes out like loser. God damn it. I tried to listen to Lil Dicky. I tried to listen to Eminem. Nothing worked.
Lou has a lot of influence on many artists, so it's okay. There's no shame in that.
This fucking guy. Well, I appreciate it. It was entertaining for me. It was better than I thought. You thought it was going to be a train wreck, and I thought it was actually pretty good.
Well, because I know how I am. I thought I was going to laugh like after the first line, and then I wasn't going to be able to.
I thought you were just going to come out
that.
here and not be able to do anything but other like rhyming real weak shit.
Fucking, I can rhyme.
At least you rhymed better than how I anticipated you would rhyme in my rap.
Yeah.
There was.
You guys want? Let me tell you a funny story about when I was practicing this. So earlier tonight,
I should have done that. That'd been good.
Earlier tonight, my wife and I were walking to dinner, and I'm like, I got to do this thing tonight. You mind listening? I got to practice real quick. So we're walking down the street in Hyde Park, and I'm in the middle of practicing the rap, just, out loud to myself, walking down the street with my wife and baby. And I'm not paying really much attention to what else is going on around me. And then the next thing I look up, and there's this old lady like working in her garden. It looks like Sister Jean or something. She just looks at me, and I was like, oh. I just kept on rolling right through it. But it's kind of funny.
Sorry, ma'am. Got a very important battle rap tonight. I'm sorry.
Sorry if those virgin ears are offended.
Boning up on my rhyme scheme. All right. I didn't tell anybody that this was happening. Like, I never mentioned it to a soul. I was just like, I'll write up a couple things so that I don't look like a complete douchebag and just see what happens. And yeah, I never told my wife this was happening.
Good call.
As a matter of fact,
well, I'll make sure we'll make sure to get it pushed out on the social media. I want people to hear this.
Yeah, by the way, our live viewers like bumped up more than we've had all show during the
They wanted to see the whiteness.
Have you guys talked at all about Chris Mack to Louisville?
No, we haven't. What's the
He's
latest
fucking
that
gone.
you've heard? I mean,
So
I know
the latest. I'm hearing. That Mike Jones guy that's the big UK Kentucky sports radio. I'm sure you guys have heard of him.
Yeah, I've heard of him actually.
who?
Is that Matt Jones, not Mike Jones?
Okay.
Matt Jones with Kentucky sports radio. He somehow has a mole in the Louisville athletic department. And he finds out news. It's always right, spot on about Louisville. And he said tonight that he heard it's a done deal.
Oh, is that the guy that said it's all done?
Details.
It's all done, but the shouting. Is that?
Yeah, that was him. And I mean, it's gotten, the rumors have gotten much more consistent with each other over the last week or so. I'd be really shocked now if it didn't happen. My guess is there's an announcement this weekend or Monday.
Well, Louisville said they wanted somebody in place by the Final Four. Like they wanted a coach named by the Final Four. And when they said that, I was like, all right, they're further along in talks with whoever than we think they are.
I mean,
You're not going to just
I don't know
start
if I can
the
trust
search.
my supposed sources at all. I always hear this shit secondhand, but I did hear them like months ago, and I told you guys.
You
like
did.
the rumors have been going on for a long time.
Yeah, it was right on the show.
I mean, at this point, and this is no joke. I've been getting texts for the last 48 hours from people not around Xavier or Louisville or anything. They're just, hey, you think Mack's going to stay? And they're all, of course, everybody outside of the whole thing is like, I'm like, I'd be more shocked if he did stay, but the only thing that now I think is going to stop it is a freaking Josh McDaniels last minute like pull out. If he just gets cold feet right before they do this and is like sleeps on it and is like all good to go and then he's just like, you know what, I can't do this. Like that's the only thing stopping this at this point. Like he's gone.
I would agree. What's your take though from a Xavier perspective? And I don't mean to sound like a big Xavier hater, and you guys know I like them too. I'm Louisville first, but it's an interesting situation. Like they and Xavier's not unique in this sense. I mean, it would happen to Gonzaga or any other kind of like really really high level tier 2 or 3 program. But it's like if you want to run with the big dogs, like Xavier should figure out a way to come up with a way to pay the guy $5 or $6 million a year,
and that's where
is it just completely
I'm at.
not possible at all.
Well, that's kind of where I'm at. Like,
stuff.
I do feel we were talking about the fan from Xavier who put up a billboard asking Mack to stay, and we said before the show, like that's something that a mid-major school does. Like a big-time school doesn't have to put up a billboard to say, "Hey, coach, come on, stay here."
Because they're not worried about the coach leaving.
Exactly. So the fact that we're still doing that, we're not a big-time school yet. I think we're on our way to that point. If Chris Mack leaves, which it looks like he is, that's the guy that I thought was going to stay here for good. Like, I thought Mack, the fact that he went to Xavier, he played here, he grew up in Cincinnati, he went to St. X, this was like his home school. I figured if anybody was going to stay, it was going to be him. Since he's not staying, it's like, all right, Xavier just needs to accept the fact that until they get into, the Big East is a big-time conference, but it's not the ACC. It's not, a Power 5 conference, if we're talking football terms. If Xavier is not in one of those conferences, they're not a big dog. So you need to just figure out how to make runs with whoever you got and just accept the fact that they're going to move on eventually. And, as long as you got a pipeline in place, fuck it. That's the only thing that scares me about this. Xavier has, over the last 3 coaches that left, Thad Matta took Xavier to a great place, took him to an Elite 8 run. Sean Miller obviously had his run at Xavier. Then Mack comes in, and he's, the second highest winning coach in school
he's
history.
all-time winning.
He's all-time winningest coach now.
Yeah.
So he's taking. Eventually, Xavier's going to whiff on a hire. Like, it's going to happen. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
The thing is, and it's not like you can't have the ultimate success on the court at a place like Xavier. If Villanova can win titles, Xavier can win titles. But it's the other factors that go into these, that play into these coaches' minds, like the money. To me, Xavier, if they want to consider themselves one of the big dogs, and maybe they don't, but if they want to jump up to that next level, figure out a way to pay the guy and do everything you can in your power to keep him. He still might leave because Louisville's got other things to offer and facilities and being the only game in town and, certain recruiting advantages and dancers and things. But it's, there's more to it.
Strippers?
I think I'm just interested. I'm interested to hear what Mack's reasoning is if he goes. I want to hear what he says. I mean, is conference affiliation a big deal? Does he really think he can win a lot more at Louisville, or is it was a financial, just lock it down, they're paying me twice as much, why wouldn't I go? Is it facilities related? Like, I want to hear what his reasoning is, and I think that will tell a lot.
I mean, you talk about Xavier. I think Xavier they're on their way to that tier. Like, if you think about where Xavier has been and where they are now, they've moved up quite a bit. They're willing to pay. What was it, Scott, that you said you saw $3 million a year or something like that?
I mean, I heard they scraped together $3 million, and that Mack came to him and said, and this is all total rumors. I heard it secondhand, just like you had it, right? That Mack at some point has went to him and said if they could get to 3.5, that it makes his decision for him. And they were like, look, all we can do is 3. Like, that's all we got. And that all the rumors that I'm hearing out of Louisville, it's $5 million a year, and that's like the magic number. But if you're saying that the difference between him staying is $1.5 million, like, I don't blame Mack for taking that money.
Yeah, whoever's calling, give us a call back here in a minute.
First of all, here's my last 2 questions, and I'll let someone else talk. But first of all, from Xavier's perspective, if they could keep Chris Mack for another $500,000 a year, and they don't figure out a way to come up with that money, then fuck them, they're bitches, and they don't belong to be at the top level.
I mean, that's a fair
point.
It's
not that much money. Figure it out. Get a donor. Cut a scholarship from cross country. Sell advertising on the court. Do something to keep the guy, because he's one of the best coaches in the country, and you got to do everything you can if you want to remain at this level. The other thing, Mike, I kind of disagree with you. I think Xavier's as high as they're going to get. Like, other than pay to keep Mack, which they've essentially said they're not willing to do, what else could Xavier do to elevate themselves? I mean, they might get better results on the court eventually, and then you could argue that they play their way into that top tier,
that's exactly what I mean.
They've got a great arena. I mean, like, there's not a whole lot else they can do.
No, that's what I mean.
You're not 20,000 more people at every game. It's just they've kind of peaked out, and it's great. They're an awesome program.
Right. My point
with anybody.
My point being, if you can sustain a level of success, and Xavier has a level of success, but it's very up and down. Like, you have a team this year who should be a Final Four team, and they get knocked out in the round of 32. You get a team last year who should have been knocked out in the first round, and instead they make an Elite 8 run. They need to build up the consistency, and if they build up that consistency, that's what takes them up to that next level where you don't have to worry about a coach leaving, because right now it feels like the Elite 8 is the ceiling for Xavier. Like, that's any coach that wants to win feels like, well, it's not going to be here because the best we can do is an Elite 8. So Xavier has to break through that and continue to have consistent success where it's deep runs in the tournament every year, or if they get on a stretch where they're getting Sweet 16s, Elite 8 runs every year, now the coach is more likely to stick around, build something up because it's like, all right, we're right there.
There's one name and one name only that you have to point to. It's Villanova. Villanova made
Exactly.
it to the championship game.
Right.
And then it took, 20-some years before they finally are at a place now where you're like, oh, well, Wright's not leaving. Like, Xavier needs to break through that ceiling
And that's all
then
that's all it
sustain
takes.
it from there. But until they get there, and however they have to do it to get there, they're not going to. Like, they're just going to stay at this level. So until they can break through, whether it's with Mack, if he stays, or with the next guy, whoever, it isn't going to be until they at least make it to a championship
And that's what I mean by getting to that
Four.
next level.
Yeah.
It's not they're not going to leave the Big East. They're not going to be an ACC team. They're not going to be a Big Ten team, whatever. They're going to be a Big East team that needs to get to that Villanova level.
That's
and if they can get to that level, then they can hang on to a coach. Until then,
right.
Have fun, Chris. Good luck in Louisville, man, because I don't blame you.
That's what you're looking at. Another 20 years, possibly.
All right, boys.
Hey, it was great
Good
battle
talking with
rapping with you. We should do it again
Thanks
sometime.
for the call, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Cheers, man. All right, whoever was calling in during that, feel free to call back in.
Probably JB.
We got Xavier heavy again, man. It seems like this show is turning into a Xavier show.
The problem is it's a big thing. Just
no, it really is,
general,
and we're Cincinnati based, so
right.
That's,
I mean, it's not like, all right, well, we're just picking this and we're just going to hammer on it but I mean, it's a big topic at the moment anyway. And I mean, my thoughts are the tharts, the sober tharts.
Yeah, you're not even the one that's been drinking.
I should drink.
Craft Brew Sports is this goddamn it, JB?
It's JB, goddammit. Go fuck yourself.
JB, what'd you think of my performance in the battle rap for your punishment?
I don't give a goddamn about your fucking battle rap. All right? You know what? Here's the fucking deal, you asshole. You start for 10 fucking days, and you say, oh, this is a great punishment, JB. This is so cool. And then you come on air and you talk, oh, I wish you would have come on air like a real fucking man and done this. Stop fucking fronting, you fucking pussy.
Whoa.
Came in
hot. Stop fronting.
Either it's a great fucking punishment or you think I'm a pussy. Which fucking is it?
We need an answer, Mike.
Both.
Oh, shit. A non-answer answer. What you got, JB?
Oh, hey, you want both? You can't pick typical fucking answer.
Yeah,
Ride the fucking fence, you dick.
That's pretty much my thing on this show, where I never take a stance on anything. Are you
is.
new?
It
Are
is
you
well
new to the
documented.
show? This is episode 90.
You're consistent.
This is 90 episodes of me just being like, I see both sides. I don't know. Chris Mack could leave. He could stay. I don't know. That's me. So it was a good punishment, and you're a bitch ass pussy. Whatever. That's fine.
Huh. I
feel like JB's about to drop his own beat and then
murder you. Yeah. Lyrically murder you.
No beat, just murder you.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Well, then, by all means, the floor is yours, sir.
He hung up.
Oh, he meant literally murder.
He's on his way to murder you. So you've got that to look forward to. The good news is it's about a 4-hour drive. So if you start now,
hide your kids, hide your wife.
You could probably make it to the next state.
I don't know much about law enforcement, but it's probably not good to say on a Facebook Live recording, just murder you. And then hang up your call. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's fine if he doesn't actually murder you.
Yeah, that's true.
If he murders, but if you end up dead, then I'm pretty sure he goes to the top of the suspect list. Your wife could be holding the knife over you, and then be like, "This fucking guy said he was going to murder him, and then he turned up dead."
The cops are going to be like, "Yeah," they're going to have a press conference. Yeah, there was a 33-year-old white male found dead in his room. Our number one suspect is Goddammit JB, aka JB Goddammit. There was apparently a beef over a rattlebap. Rattlebap?
A rattlebap? Oh my! What the fuck? Yeah. My
Nobody's Nerfic.
My thoughts don't seem so wrong, huh? Brattle rap. Jesus, man.
That's the best thing I've ever said on the show. 90 episodes in, that's the funniest thing I've ever said.
Yeah, it's also, I guess you're dropping truth bombs tonight, too, because...
I'll take a stance on that. That's the funniest goddamn thing I've said on the show.
Shit. I don't even care about my thoughts about Mack anymore. Go, don't go.
I mean, it is what it is.
Xavier wins, they don't win. I don't care. It's after Sunday. It's whatever. That's
and I think that's
what does it really fucking matter?
Exactly. Like,
I mean, because if they hire because you're like, I worry about they hire the wrong guy. If they hire the wrong guy, then they fire him, and then they hopefully hire the next.
They
guy.
have a setback, and then they'll fucking come back.
I mean,
because
it is what it is. Like that's how I feel about the whole thing. Like I said when Mack was hired, I didn't give a shit about him. He was just coach until he was here for 5 years, and then after 5 years, I would evaluate him. After 5 years, he was still here. Things have gone great, and for 9 years, he's done nothing but ascend the program. Ultimately didn't meet the success that I had hoped for, and I'm sure that he had hoped for, especially this year. But after 9 years, if he feels like he can do better or wants, maybe it's just that he just sees something different. Maybe it's not even the money or anything. Like maybe he's just like, you know what? It's an ACC school that I can go at and just stay there and hang out, and that can be my career.
He grew up in Cincinnati. I mean, eventually...
No, I get that.
No, what I'm saying is, my point being,
okay.
I grew up in Youngstown, and I was like, I cannot wait till I turn 18 so that I can get the fuck out of Youngstown.
Right. I mean...
Like, this dude has spent his entire life, except for like 2 seasons where he played at a different college.
Yeah.
He spent his entire life in this city. Eventually, you got to be like, I just want to see something different.
Well, and I mean, maybe he's just like, he's like, I've done what I can at Xavier. It's not that I don't think I can do more. Or
That's
that
just
like,
the ceiling.
Like, this
yeah.
is
that's
what
I'm saying. That's
this
like
is
Xavier
where I've
ceiling.
taken the program, and I'm now the winningest coach. And I don't even think that he goes to bed at night thinking this is the ceiling. He probably thinks, and I would hope that he thinks like, no, the ceiling is a national championship. We just haven't. Things haven't gone our way to get there. Like I can get us there, but at the same time, I've taken this ball as far as I feel like taking it. Like I just don't feel like carrying this ball anymore. I want to pick up this new ball and see how far I can go with things there. That's it. Like I don't think I can win national championship here. I just want to try this new challenge. Like sometimes you just want to do something.
And I
different.
honestly feel like, so obviously Xavier fans turned on that motto when he left. They really turned on Sean Miller when he left.
If you turn on Chris Mack, you're kind of just a piece of shit.
But I also, it all depends on the way, like...
Well, yeah. I mean, if he comes out...
Miller was fine until he came out with his comment about it's like going from a Buick to a Lexus.
Well,
that's when Xavier fans were like, fuck you.
Yeah, and my kids can swim in a pool, and I went somewhere where I can win national championship. When you completely shat on the fact that you could win a national championship at Xavier, even if at the time when he said it, it was kind of true.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you don't
it was
do
the
that.
way. Well, it was the way he said it.
It's the LeBron James fucking
exactly.
deal.
All you had to say was, I wanted to go to a place where it gives me a better chance to win a national championship, and it's only because
you don't even have to say that. It's always been my dream to coach at a program like Arizona.
Yeah,
a nationally recognized program like Arizona. That's been my dream ever since I got into coaching, and I'm really glad that it's able to. I'm thankful for my time at Xavier to give me this opportunity to coach at Arizona. Boom, done. People don't hate you, and I feel like Mack is smart enough
to know.
Like,
well, he saw how the last two left and how they were vilified. If nothing else, he's just gonna walk up and be like, I'm happy to be at Louisville. I loved my 10 years at Xavier, and I hope that I can do everything for this program that I did there. And I'll see you guys on Monday. That would be the easiest way to handle it.
Go Muskies unless you're playing Louisville. Okay, see you guys. But he backs away.
And you know what's funny is then Xavier probably would erect a statue of him the next day. They'd be like, hey, you know what? All right.
Winningest coach, he's the man. I love him.
Right. But you know what? That's all it would take for me. I'd be like, hey, as long as Xavier's not playing Louisville.
Go get yours, Mac.
I know.
Go get yours.
I would kind of be a Louisville fan. I'd be like, you know what? I can root for Mac. I will never, ever... Thad Matta's now at Ole Miss. I don't give a fuck about Ole Miss. Yeah.
Oh.
He got hired at Ole Miss after Andy Kennedy stepped down,
Good for
ironically
him.
enough, the former UC coach. Now the former Xavier coach is now taking over. Real weird circumstances there, but yeah, fuck Thad Matta forever in his coaching career. Ole Miss? Oh, cool. I hope they lose every game. Wherever Sean Miller ends up, even if it's at a D3 school, hope they lose every game. I don't give a shit. But for as long as Mack goes over there and does his thing, you know what? And if this weekend he has that change of heart and he's like, you know what? I'm not fucking leaving, and does the whole, Wolf of Wall Street thing and stays, great. Like, I'm not even going to celebrate in the street. I'm just like, cool. All right, well, let's keep this thing going, and that's that. Like, I'm not going to celebrate. I mean, I feel like there'll be too many people celebrating. It's like,
Rate saying Thad turned down Ole Miss.
What? Oh, I thought he did sign. I thought he signed with Old Miss.
Apparently, he turned it down.
Change of heart?
And he said that Mata might come back to Xavier.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
What a kick in the dick that would be for
that.
Xavier
Would
fans.
suck. I wouldn't even know what to do. I'd be like, "Oh, well, you're forcing my hand."
Yeah.
Like, I honestly, I wouldn't even know what to do.
That would be such a dick move on Xavier's part.
I would be so mad.
I wouldn't cheer for him anymore.
This would be
I'd cheer for him.
This
God
would be.
damn it.
You know what this would be? 49ers getting Richard Sherman. I'm like, oh fuck. I can't root against the team, but I ain't rooting for the guy.
This would be like if Aaron Judge signed with the Braves.
Oh fuck that.
If Mariano Rivera came out of retirement and played for the
Fuck
Braves.
that. No.
If Jita decided to sign with Atlanta.
No. I want him booting balls up there.
Speaking of baseball, let's wrap this up before we get into Consume It or Can It. This week it came out. MLB is looking to play some games in London.
Stupid.
They're taking a page out of the NFL playbook.
The stupidest playbook that the NFL has.
The Red Sox and the Yankees are looking to play a 2-game series in London.
At least the only thing that the MLB is getting right about this is that when they export their goods,
it's the two best, two of the top,
it's two of the most recognizable teams in the sport, rather than hey, we're giving you Royals Pirates.
Let me think of how I can word this question.
Padres Mariners get you jacked. It's coming at you, London.
Let me think how I can word this question. Why the fuck would this be a thing?
Was that your most
I tried to
scholastic way of asking that question?
The other way I was thinking of.
And your best judgment is who the fuck would do this?
Put yourself in Rob Manfred's shoes here. What the fuck are you thinking? I don't know. That's the best way I can phrase. Seriously, what the fuck is this? Why are all of our sports like, hey, you know what? We need to do? We need to play in London.
What's funnier is this is even dumber than the NFL, who's despite what everybody says, they're at the height of the popularity, and they can kind of just throw caution to the wind. It's like, oh, if this works or it doesn't, who cares? We're still the most popular sport in the world. Well, and I say world, but the most popular sport in the U.S. by like a wide margin. Like, we don't have anything to worry about. Whereas the MLB can't get fucking anybody under the age of 90 to tune in. They're like, hey, let's expand this thing.
Is that their plan? They're like, hey, there's limey bastards over in London. They'll probably eat this shit up. Let's fucking go over there.
I have no idea.
Hey, you got a lot of old white guys, right? You'll probably love this shit.
I don't know.
Check this out for 2 games. You on board? Cool.
2 games too. 2 games. The game's not played. Like I'm even on board with their like, hey, we're gonna go play some games in Japan, and it's all weird when they do the whole season started for. They did some Yankees Boston
like
games
a week before the season
spring
started.
training was still going, and they came back and still did spring. I was even kind of on board because baseball is huge in Japan, and hey, there's excitement. London's like, what the fuck are they doing here with this bullshit?
That's the thing.
There's no.
It's one thing if you're going to a place like let's say you go to Mexico or the Dominican Republic or something like that where it's a popular sport.
Giant pull.
Yeah, you're gonna go to England. When's
the last time an England-born player played in the major leagues?
When's the last time England played in the World Baseball Classic? What is the end game? Like, what are you trying to do? I don't get the thought process behind, hey, we're going to take Red Sox Yankees, one of the best rivalries in the MLB, and we're going to play 2 games in fucking England because why not? Like,
that's literally like the decision had to have been made. Where are we going to play? Throw a dart at a board. We're going to England, guys. Get on a plane.
It makes no sense to me.
I got nothing. And this is again, every time it started out, and I was like, oh, I think, all right, I think we got something here. Fucking old man Seelig is done. We got Robin here, and even though he was on that same boat, like, He gets it. He understands, like, the first couple of moves he made, and ever since then, it's just been this steady decline. Every big decision he makes, I'm like, the fuck are you doing? You're ceiling 2.0.
Is baseball cursed?
You're getting
Is
less.
baseball
no,
cursed?
No. Baseball's not cursed, because in order to be cursed, something has to be out of your control. Baseball controls what they're doing.
It's cursed.
And they constantly
It's cursed
make
with
stupid
awful
decisions.
commissioners. It's cursed with awful commissioners.
They choose their commissioner. That's not a curse. A curse is something that's beyond your control.
All right. Well, in that case,
Baseball
Papa B,
is just
Papa
fucking
B,
stupid.
you're wrong about Cleveland, because all of those Cleveland Browns losses, that's not in their. That's not out of their control. That's all in their control. They're not cursed.
You asshole. They're playing the game, and they've like chosen the players, and then like freakish things have happened. Like that's being cursed. They're choosing, and then these idiots that they put in charge are making these decisions,
And then
So,
they
like,
fire them and put new idiots in charge.
I know.
They're making their own bed.
No,
They're not cursed. They're just fucking stupid.
That's what I'm saying. They're not cursed. They're just dumb.
So see, we agreed. Why did you come at me like JB? Like you wanted to fucking fight me?
You were trying to say they were cursed. I'm like, stop using the word.
No,
cursed.
I'm saying my pop said they were cursed. My dad said, I argued earlier Cincinnati is more cursed than Cleveland, and my dad called in and said, "You're an idiot, fucking Cleveland. Look at the Browns, 0-16, blah blah blah."
First of all, your dad is right. You're an idiot. But
no, I mean that's fair.
second of all, I was just going at you for the
Fuck
fact
me,
that
right? Fuck me.
Always. I was just going at you for the sake of using the word curse. Like, MLB isn't cursed. They're just dumb. They're dumb. And they don't get it. I mean, I had almost throwing my hands up at MLB and saying, all right, fuck it. It's never going to change. And they're just going to bury
Eventually,
themselves.
they're just going to wither away, and it's going to be.
Yeah, they're just going to bury themselves
sport
because
is going
they
to-
just don't seem interested in changing whatsoever, and they're just going to keep making dumb
They're
decisions.
going to put a guy on second.
Oh, nope. Gotcha. We're going to
Just
change.
kidding. Just kidding.
We're going to change. We're going to less mound visits. Does that excite you? Less mound visits.
Really
Wait,
going to shorten this
but
game
hold on.
by 6 seconds?
maybe if the mound visit is not when the guy walks out, and if a second baseman looks at him, then it might not be a
Here's
mound
the
visit.
thing. We'll play it by ear. You're
Fucking
not allowed to
MLB,
make a
man.
mound visit unless we decide it's okay if you make a mound visit. It's fine.
Yeah. No, so I mean, but I'm just resigned to the fact that I'm gonna die watching baseball, and it's gonna die with me. I'm gonna be the last person watching baseball.
You probably are.
I'm gonna turn the light out.
You probably are like, hey man, we good. Oh, we
Yeah, it's gonna be me watching a bunch of 20-some-year-olds, and then it's just going to die.
Have fun, London.
I'm the last one. Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of this.
Fucking shit, man. They just don't seem to care. Because, I mean, all the problems are laid out in front of them. People point them out. You know, that you don't market your stars. You don't market your young guys. You ain't catching up with the times.
You don't
with
let 'em have
speed and
fun.
better. Like, yeah, you don't let them have fun. You're pushing the game in a foreign country, and you can't get it popular here. It's regional. They don't seem to care. It's just like, whatever. And I mean, the game is making a shit ton of money, so I mean, maybe that's why they don't care. Because we're not doing anything wrong. Look at the dollars and cents. We're making money hand over fist. We got to be doing something right. But you know, it'll wear out one day, and they're just like, oh shit, we never saw this coming.
Where the fuck did soccer come from? That's going to be the first sentence out of
Soccer
Rob.
just snuck
Rob
up on
Manfred's-
us.
He's
you
just going to be
see
like,
this?
he's going to be like, have you guys heard of soccer? What the fuck? Where have you guys been with this intel about this game called soccer?
You
What
guys
the
knew
fuck
it. You didn't
happened?
say shit.
It's just my dad in a room going, fuck soccer. And he's like, you're goddamn right, Papa B.
Probably going to be on the
Move
base.
it to London.
Could be the co-commissioner in baseball. Those like junior
Papa B,
execs.
Papa B, we got to do something about soccer. They're gaining on us. Fuck soccer. You're right. Fuck them. All right, move it to
We
London.
got no worries. Expand the game to the worldwide? All right. London it is.
What should we do? Should we shorten mound visits? Fuck soccer. Yeah, all right, good call. We're going to shorten mound visits. All right, well,
Why nothing matters.
eventually baseball's going to die a slow and painful death, and we're all just going to witness it happen.
Yep. We're all gonna be witnesses to a murder, and nobody's gonna call the cops.
Nope.
Tiger's back.
God damn it.
So
Do I have to take a shot for that, too, because I reacted, huh? I reacted
You
to
do.
it. I have to take a shot.
you fell right into the trap.
I
that you
did.
Said you were gonna fall
You know what?
into.
And that's the
So
one I knew was
stupid.
going to get me. And I did so good earlier in the show, ignoring all the basketball stuff. And then the Tiger one he let it sit so long in between takes.
Fucking baited you.
What do I do? Fireball or Hypno? Joe, you call it.
I don't care. Whatever you want.
Okay, well, that's not Hypno.
Damn it, Joe.
Wait, the Fireball might not open because it's so disgusting. Fuck it, I can't believe you got me with that shit.
I almost actually responded because he said something about you said something about Charlotte, and I was almost like, "Holy shit!" Dwight Howard did have 30 and 30 the other night. I was fucking like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, what year is it?
So they played back-to-back games. Dwight Howard went for 32 points and 30 rebounds, and then the next night they beat the Grizzlies by 61 points. No asterisks. Grizzlies weren't playing for like 3 people.
Yeah.
Okay, can I?
Smash.
No, I
just
almost
say,
acknowledged because I was like, "Wait,
Can
what
I
did you
just
say?"
say-
Because that same thing happened with 30, and then I was like, "No, I'm not gonna say."
Okay, so here's
I'm
how
not
I think we should
stupid.
do this going
Or
forward.
Mike.
This is how I think we should do this going forward. Every time Joe drops in, if I break and I acknowledge his random comments, if I do that, not only do I have to do the shot, but then Joe gets a minute to talk about whatever bullshit that he wants to talk about. So, like that whole thing of like, yeah, Dwight Howard he still plays basketball, and you guys forgot that that's a thing, and he went 30 and 30.
I didn't forget it was a thing. It was just one of those like 30 and 30. Who does that?
No, I know,
The young
but I'm
Dwight Howard
saying
didn't
like,
do
well,
that.
that's
Well,
I
it was
think
the first time since Kevin Love in 2007.
Also, if he had done that his whole career, we wouldn't be talking about him being on his fourth team.
dude, those shoulders
Like
though.
8th team.
Those shoulders, though. Dwight Howard's shoulders.
Orlando, Houston, L.A., and now Charlotte.
He was with Atlanta like a year or two
Atlanta.
ago.
Okay, so that's 5. You still
know,
3
somewhere
less.
else. He's been
I was
all
1
over.
off. I win. It's price of right rules, motherfucker. And you were over. Get out.
I bet one team, Bob. It's Drew, goddammit. Oh, my bad, Drew. Sorry.
Totally how that goes. Every show. It is forever and always Bob. Don't be
Is
the
there
guy
anybody-
that follows. Don't be the guy that follows the guy.
But he's fucking making it work. Cockland.
No,
See?
he's not. I haven't watched that show in years.
He's still there?
Used to
Have
watch
they
it.
fired him yet?
No, because they don't have anything better. Because
It's on CBS, isn't it?
Just that guy. Yeah, it is. Old people. Oh man. All right. Well,
Oh, that is not good fireball.
that's because that fireball's stale.
Something
I
has
know
gone,
alcohol doesn't go bad, but
something
that's
has gone horribly wrong with that.
Is that still the
That
one
was
from
the
like
same
that has
one.
antifreeze?
Yep, same
that-
one.
The one we couldn't get the lid off of because it was stuck.
Something has gone terribly wrong with that fireball.
Yeah. It's reverted back to like its pure.
That was a worse punishment than battle rapping.
You got to take a shot of this 1990
If
bottle of
JB had been
Fireball.
like, hey, you know that shitty bottle of Fireball
You gotta
that you got
finish
sitting
it.
under the bar? You got to drink all of that. I'd be like, oh my god, I quit.
I also hope we've given anybody else who hasn't given us a.
Oh no! Hang on. So we are still missing. We're still missing punishments. My
Yanni?
dad still has to give a punishment. Yanni still has to give a punishment.
Do these people care anymore? Or
I don't know. Who else? We're missing.
your mom?
Nope, my dad, not my mom. My mom didn't play. M. Freaky, he's got to give a punishment.
Oh yeah, he's tried twice or something like that.
Just once. He never came back with the second one
he
after.
didn't?
Yeah.
Oh, it was just the one. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought he did.
Drew has
Is
an
still
idea for a
struggling?
punishment. No,
he's come up with like 40. and
He's
they've
got
all
a
come
great idea for a punishment, and I mean, I'll throw it out there, and we'll see if people like it. Then we'll really push forward with it.
Oh, that's right. You told us
Drew's
about
a
this.
soccer player, and one of the games that they play in soccer practice is called butts up. And the way the game works is if one team loses in a scrimmage or whatever, they line up on the goal line, bend over with their ass in the air. The other team lines up at the penalty shot line and takes shots, hitting somebody in the b-hole with a soccer ball. Drew wants to fire soccer balls at my b-hole. The number of people that beat me, which is like 11, that's how many kicks he gets at my b-hole. 11. And he's even trying to up the ante. I don't want to spoil anything, but he is reaching out to both FC Cincinnati players and Xavier soccer players to try to get them to take the shots at my b-hole. That could be rough, but we'll film it. Obviously, we can't do it during the show, but we'll film it and show it during the show.
So all the podcast listeners, they'll love that visual medium.
Yep. Well, okay. Maybe we won't show it during the
I mean, we'll just visit our website, check out our social media.
There you go. Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Plug.
Yeah. There'll be multiple ways that you can view Mike getting soccer balls hit at his butthole. So
That's a goddamn good punishment.
By the way, of all the things you've ever censored on, you sat there and said "beehole" like 40 times.
I didn't censor myself. It just seemed funnier in my head to say
It
beehole.
wasn't. You kept saying it, and I was like, "Stop saying beehole."
I thought it was going to be funnier to say beehole. All right. Well,
Drank
fair
too
enough.
much. The fireballs hit you hard.
Nope. It was
Sober
the
me can say
3 coast to coast. All right. Let's get into Consumer to Cannon.
All right. Consumer to Cannon brought to you by Tavor.
Yep, there's the music. I was waiting for the music. Brought to you by Tavor. Make sure you check them out. Go to our website, craftbrewsports.com. Click the sponsors link. If they deliver to you as soon as you sign up and order your first beer, you're going to get a $10 credit. So do that. This is 50 West Coast to Coast IPA. Joe, I'm going to throw it to you.
It smelled good.
I'm going to throw it to you because you had a couple of these. Coast to Coast IPA. Consume it or can it?
Consume.
Burping
You all
bitch.
right over there?
Burping ass
Fine.
bitch.
It's that. I'm telling you, I don't know what was wrong with that fireball, but it was rough.
I know what was wrong with it. I told you, what 3 weeks ago when I had a shot, and I was like, dude, this is
There
fucked
was.
up.
I've never had Fireball that didn't have cinnamon flavor to it.
No.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, have you
It's
ever,
gotten so old. I'm telling you, it's trying to go back
have
to
you
formula.
ever have you ever taken Fireball candy and like soaked it in a bowl of water and then eaten the candy?
No.
Oh, I used to do
Just
that as a
you.
kid, and it's that but with gross whiskey mixed in. Joe, consume it or can it?
So I said consume. Yep, definitely a consume.
It smelled good.
It's a really good IPA. This is one that I think you would like because it's not overly hoppy. The fact that they use 5 different hops and it doesn't taste overly hoppy is really impressive to me. I am a big fan of this one. This is an IPA that I feel like you can have multiple of, and you don't have to worry about the dreaded double toothbrush at the end of the night. Which is big. That's a big thing, right?
That's
big.
huge.
Like this is a single toothbrush plus mouthwash.
It's so huge that Cheryl earlier was like, "Hey, don't forget to brush your teeth when you get into bed tonight." And I was like, "What? When on the beer I'm not drinking?" She's like, "Ah, that's right. One more week. I forgot about that." And I'm like, "Good to know that you were prioritizing me brushing my teeth, though, because you're worried about the beer
Do you
smelling."
not brush your teeth before you get into bed?
I mean, I
Why
do.
is that a
No.
thing? That like Scott just gets home and he's like, "Man, fuck it, going to bed now." Just breathing all over your wife.
I mean, I turned the other way. There's been some
You're
toothbrush. there's
such
been
a
some
goddamn gentleman.
There's been
Going
some
butt
teeth.
to butt.
Yeah.
We go all 96 over here.
There's been some nights where I'll brush the teeth, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it ain't a regular occurrence. I'm just like, I'm tired. Good night.
Anyways, I am consuming the shit out of 50 West Coast to Coast IPA. This has been Consumer Canada, brought to you by Tavor and Colgate. We're gonna get them on. Can we get them as a sponsor? Be like, hey, Colgate.
Colgate?
Yeah,
Might be.
or Crest. I mean, we
I wonder
need.
if they know about the beer game and the whole like.
That would be a goddamn good toothpaste commercial.
Yeah.
Like it's just somebody pounding IPAs all night long, and then they talk about like, hey, you got to brush your shit.
Well, we gotta go. The house music was trying
Yeah, I
to play
see
us
that.
off.
I
It's like
see that.
fucking Academy Awards. I'm like, all right, stop your talking. We'll just bring the music up. We'll get the fucking hit. Just cut the mics.
Joe's like, we're on a fucking schedule here, fellas. Let's wrap this shit up. Thank you guys so much for
Read the
tuning
Twitter
in.
accounts. It's time to roll.
This shit got Joe, the polls. You turn on the music. Why are you
know,
fucking
motherfuckers
turn
out
off
here
the
for
music
accident.
and do the polls? Turn off the music and stop it. Stop it on the tablet because you're about to fucking. Okay, let's get into the motherfucker of the week poll. Joe's even got the end graphic already pulled up. Like
Damn,
this
geez,
whole thing.
people. God, what else you fucking want me
You
to do?
started off so strong. Joe.
Moonlight has won the Academy Award. it wasn't La La Land. All right, go ahead. Read the polls, motherfucker.
Roy McIlroy, 52%.
Whoa, 52. That's close.
That is close. Wait, how many votes?
25.
Ooh,
that's
we had a lot
pretty
of
good.
votes.
That's a pretty good.
That's a
not
solid
bad.
number. Solid number, especially considering there was a split. But I did feel like Roy would edge him out. I know I voted Roy because, I mean,
Wait a
quit being
second.
bitch.
All three of us on the show voted Rory because
So we tipped the scales.
don't be a fucking pussy
Yeah,
and
don't be a
complain about people
And don't-
yelling at golf
Well,
tournaments.
don't try to fuck up somebody else's good time by saying, well, they should stop serving alcohol.
We've
Bitch.
all seen Happy Gilmore. It's more fun when people are drinking and having fun at golf tournaments.
Not just golf tournament, life.
But I mean,
It's like drinking in general.
talking about
makes
golf
things more
tournaments,
fun.
like
This
you know,
podcast
she's,
is more fun when I'm drinking.
Yeah,
I can look in your eyes and tell you you're having more fun than me.
I'm
right
having way more fun
now.
than
You
you are.
motherfucker, you. Damn these antibiotics.
And I have more fun when you're having fun. Like right now, it's like that was a fun show, but it wasn't like a fun show.
Yeah.
Because I like when Scott's all liquored up and he's like, "Fucking Xavier, goddamn motherfucker, cue the music." Scotty doesn't know.
I was gonna say Scotty doesn't know doesn't work when I'm completely sober.
That's why you didn't want to do it. All right, that makes sense. Tank says butts up must happen. All right, well, we'll
He also
see.
said Moonlight's ending sucked.
Joe, hit that music. Let's get out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. This was a super fun show. Thank you for sticking through the battle rap.
Thank God.
Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at CraftBSports. You can follow Scott at ScottyK_Jr. You can follow me at Mike Burlon. Follow Joe at Joe Goalie 4. He's on the fucking end credits now. It's official. Joe is a part of this show. You can hit us up anytime you want. 440-37-DRUNK.
More importantly, you remember his Twitter handle this week, so there's that.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's right. I just said what I thought it was.
Joe?
Is that right?
It's correct.
Nailed
Right.
it! Boom. And be sure to check out the blog, craftrootsports.com. There are so many good stories coming up throughout the week. We just had another story pop up this week about NASCAR. I mean, we are covering the gamut. I might throw up something about golf and just be like, Tiger's not back, and write a whole article about it,
About why he's
about
not
why
back.
Tiger's not back.
The haters, the haters guide to Tiger Wood.
But check out the site, craftrootsports.com. You can purchase T-shirts and hoodies on the website. They're available now. Prime eligible at Amazon. Check that out. They're available at craftrootsports.com. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Cheers, everybody.
We out.